Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me now. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me now, please.
Visualizing my name tattooed on that ass, baby. Jump on this hardy, let's go smoke some of that Bob Marley. Sip some Bacardi, they go pull up at the after party. I think we make a perfect couple, but you think I'm trouble. Maybe that's the reason you gave me the wrong number.
Oh, yeah, I hear y'all coming. I'm coming soon. I'm coming soon, y'all.
Like, maybe she the wrong woman. You think I'm gonna be chasing the chicken head?
Rock out with me. Peace, power, and prosperity, everybody. I'll be in a second. You know it's on. I'll let you know. I really want you, baby. One dose of my loving, cause you don't drive you. I'll be there 1 second, y'all.
Face pissed off, miss shit off course. Which way shit's going? Spent too much time in hibernation. Sleep, what went wrong? Things changed from lift off up until the destination was reached. Mind and body weak, gone from the stress on the brain. Lost in the void of space. What does it really takes to stay sane and maintain stability? Is this really me floating in a maze haze of what will I? Could I? Who should I be? Am I destined to weep and cry my life away for all the wrong mistakes I made and take the blame? Damn, this shit is so insane. Just wanna flow free like a river into the ocean. Not headed what for the fucking drain. Life caught up in disarray. System malfunctioning. Made days instead of paydays. Red light blinking. Thinking, where's the green? Hoping this is a dream. It only seems to be a nightmare. Scared, pure fear of the unknown. Where's here? Do you know what I mean? Journeys through the galaxies at light speed. Please, just catch me.
Heart always crying, but my heart won't stay silent. Sky is the limit, but after that I'm not finished. Heart always crying, but my heart won't stay silent. Sky is the limit, but after that I'm not finished.
Yeah, I'm ready for liftoff, like a hooper when it's tip off. Yeah, I'm ready to score, ready for war. Polishing my floor so I can shine like a diamond in the store. I sparkle like the son of Allah, creating rain, hail, and earthquakes, the God in the flesh. And they say God makes no mistakes. From natural disaster to calm and laughter, I'm balancing the scales like a yin-yang master. Emotional intelligence is energy intelligence. The wise use the mind to align with the elements. Health is a benefit. Treat the body like a temple. They creating viruses to end you. State to state, new man thing. Peace, power, prosperity. Rob Blackstorm in the house. Shout out to everyone who is here. I see Eileen's in the building. I see Corleone Giovanni's in the building. Terry Carroll's in the building. All right. Memphis 9 Ether in the building. Lost a couple of people because of the audio. Please type a 1 again in the chat if you can hear me. All I need is one person to type a 1 in the chat. Just one person to type a 1 in the chat. I was rocking out over here too, man. I didn't even know my mic switched. You know, what's this app? StreamYard is a funny thing, man. It's a funny thing. I was on here and, you know, I was kind of setting everything up, and I'm doing other things, you know, gearing up everything else. And as I'm doing that, okay, peace, 9 Ether. Okay, I see you, 9 Ether's in the building. Yeah, and I was doing that, and I'm like, yo, you know, what's going on with my camera? Okay, thank you, CN1. Thank you, CN1. All right, the Divine Oracle's in the building. All right, shout out to y'all. All right, I see y'all coming through on a late Friday night. Well, it's late here in New York. Not really late. A little bit after 11:15. But my camera switched, like, literally, like I'm using a webcam right now, not my computer camera. but it literally switched my webcam without me touching it. It switched my webcam to my computer cam. Like whoever was back in the background of StreamYard was trying to look through my computer cam, but my computer cam is covered at all times. Like, and I suggest you do that, like on your laptop or whatever device you use, even your cell phone. You know, if you're not really using your camera, if you can, try to tape it up or keep it covered, because you know they watching, they listening, they paying attention to everything. Not saying that I'm, you know, that I think that they're paying attention to my little YouTube channel like that, but they are paying attention to my little YouTube channel like that. You know, they're paying attention to all of us. You know, if you say something about a particular product, you know, it shows up on your phone, etc., etc. So I want to thank you guys for showing up. I do appreciate you that are here. Um, and I have a show tonight that I think you guys will enjoy. You know, we're going through this time of AI, the rise of AI. Peace to Hala Vegeta. We're going through this time of AI. We're going through this time where we're trying to figure things out. You know, there's wars and rumors of wars. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to some of the things that's happening around the world, where China, you know, they're dealing with a case of that thing that ends with 19. They're going crazy over there. Um, they have riots in Peru and Brazil, right? In Brazil, they just ran through the capital out there. You know, the same thing happened in America last year, right? Or was that 2020? Yeah, 2021. They ran through the capital in 2021. Here, they did the same thing in Brazil. They also have destabilization in Haiti. All right. In Haiti, they are going crazy right now. It's anarchy, right? They're trying to figure out how to control it, you know. And all over the world, you know, there's different spots where basically the people are rising up. You know, here we have inflation. I don't know if you guys have been to the grocery store, but have you guys seen the price of eggs? Especially if you're here in the East Coast, New York, New Jersey area, whatever. I don't know how it is down south, but the price of eggs, 18 eggs is like $10. You know, it's crazy. $10, $11, even $12, right? Regular carton of eggs that was in 2020, $2, $3, right, is now up to $10, $11, you know. So there's a lot of people that are going through it right now. They're suffering. Of course, they're not going to show it on social media because everybody's putting on a front, right? The foreclosures are going crazy. Homes are foreclosing, people are getting evicted, people are losing their cars right now. It's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of people under pressure, right? Where I live in New York, I live on the first floor of my building, and New York is pretty active, right? I'm in the Bronx, so in Bronx, New York, it's a pretty active area where I live. Not too active, you know. It's not hood enough where I hear gunshots every day, but it's hood adjacent. You know, if I walk a couple of blocks, I might see somebody leaning and nodding. You know what I'm saying? Leaning and nodding off that Fenny or that Heron. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing people arguing a lot, and you know who I'm hearing arguing the most? Women. I'm hearing women arguing the most at other women, screaming at other women, yelling at other women, going hard, right? I've heard several SMDs, right? That's my, you know, the rest, you know, or going around, just rapid off of minor traffic infractions, right? Parking spaces, uh, phone over the phone, you know, going all week, going crazy, right? Going hammer. Now Mercury was in retrograde recently. It just went direct today. Today is Friday the 13th. I definitely heard some, you know, some savages outside. I definitely heard some savages outside today going crazy, you know, and it's one of these times, man. You really got to keep your head on the swivel. You really, I don't like saying nice, because nice, the definition of nice basically means to be ignorant, but you want to be kind to people. You want to have a light about you, but you also want to be able to discern things before they're happening. And there's a quickening going on. I'll tell you a quick story, then we're going to get into the whole artificial intelligence and creating this chariot, right, for your inner strength, right? We're going to get into that shortly. But I'll tell you a quick story. So I'm I work from home. So I'm sipping my tea, you know. I'm sipping my tea. I'm chilling in my boxes, which I normally do when I'm working from home. I'm chilling, I'm looking out my window on a break. And I see these two hyenas. I see these two hyenas, I see them in getting ready to engage in verbal combat, right? But first, it was before the traffic infraction. One hyena, she came out the building and she was yelling at her son, like talking to her son, like I guess he left his hat at school or whatever, and she was yelling. Like, I mean, talking to this boy couldn't be no more than 4 or 5 years old, right? Maybe 6 max, right? He was definitely a preschool or a first grader. And she was yelling at him like he was the devil himself. She was yelling at him like he was the devil himself just for leaving his hat. That's what happens. Kids do that. You leave your hat, you forget it. You might leave it in the locker. I know I did that a couple times. Leave the umbrella, leave your gloves. And, your parents get mad. But the way she was talking to him, she was talking to him like he was a grown man who grabbed the ass in the street or something. It wasn't that serious. So she said that, right? And she went off. So I'm hearing her going off, right? And then she's talking to the boy, putting the boy in her car, right? This is an example of the quickening, right? Doing this BS. She's putting the boy in the car. So a lady drives up, right? And she's like, "Yo, move." So the lady that's talking to, this is another lady, Puerto Rican lady. Lady that's going in the car is a black lady, right? I'm gonna use black of a better term. A lady going in the car is a black lady. So the black lady's like, "Shut the F up," right? And the Spanish lady, she's about that Cardi B life. She ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? She's ready. She's ready. She's ready to turn up. She's ready to go at it. She's ready to drop her bomb. You know what I'm saying? She ain't having it. So she's like, "What? Who you talking to?" Here comes another SMD, right? Boom. The black lady's like, "You SMD, right?" So they barking. The hyenas is going at it, right? The two hyenas they jaw wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So the Spanish chick, she's like, "What? Man, I'm tired of talking." Boom, hops out the car. Like, what? What? The black lady was not about it, though. She was not about it. She was like, "You know what? I'm going home. I ain't got time for this." Hopped the ass in the car and peeled off. All right. Now, my point of this story, I'm talking about these two hyenas, these two savages, is this, right? And I'm using hyena and savages just to make this entertaining, the story entertaining. My point is this: there is a quickening happening. I firmly believe that the way she talked to her little innocent son that left his hat at school, the direct result of that happening is what caused her to get barked at and stepped to, and to show her that she's not as tough as she thinks she is, that she's not aggressive as she thinks she is, that there's somebody bigger, bolder, and badder than who she thought she was, right? And we all have to come to a realization. We all have to come to a realization. I was looking at that joint. I was like this. I was like, bro, it was crazy. But it was, yes, Hollow, that's exactly instant karma. Instant karma. Instant what goes around comes around, right? That's exactly what happened. So the thing is this: when we're going out in this world, right, and you got an attitude, you mad, you upset, you in your feelings, you thinking that, oh, I'ma just say whatever, do whatever. I saw another video on Instagram. There was a sister, she was in court, right? And the judge told her, "Yeah, you can't go back to the house. There's this domestic violence situation, and that's his house. You can't go back." And she was like, "I can't go back home?" She was like, "I can't go back home? What? What you telling?" And the judge was like, "No, you can't go back home." She was like, "I can't go back home?" He was like, "No, you can't go back home." And she was like, "Man, F this." He was like, "What?" She was like, "Man, F this." He said, "Oh, that's 30 days. She was like, "F you." Oh, he was like, "That's 60 days. She was like, "F you and that 60 days." He was like, "That's 90 days. She was like, F you, that 90 days. And she kept going. So eventually her ass racked up 100, 300. Actually, no, she racked up 300 days, right? 300 days or something that all she had to do was not go home. Find a friend, find a family member, couch crash, whatever it took, right? Get yourself back in order, whatever it took. But if she would just shut her mouth, she'd be free. And right now, she's probably sitting in somebody's jail cell, probably lost her job if she had a job, whatever she was doing, right? Because she was, and I'm just using women because this is, if you guys got men or whatever, I'm equal opportunist. I I'm on the yin and yang side. I'm not a male advocate or a female advocate or anything like that. These are just the examples that were presented to me. If they were men, I would talk about men. All right. So you got to really be out here with consciousness, not so much in your feelings. And when I say in your feelings, that doesn't mean not to emote, but I mean you have to learn how to manage your heart. And we're going to talk about that as we go into this tonight. So I appreciate y'all being here. I see 12 of y'all in the building. Please snatch up that like button. All right. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. And I want to earn that like as well. So hopefully throughout this, if you don't feel like doing it now, you do it eventually. And here we go with
another one.
Where we go with
another one.
All right, let's go. So we're going to start with some of the current events that's been happening. Let me pull this up and share this tab. All right, we're going to go tab hopping. No slides today, but we're going to go tab hopping. All right. Just make sure y'all can see what I see. Give me a second. All right. Yep, y'all can. All right. So the past 8 years were the warmest on record, the UN agency says. Okay. So we had the warmest 8 years on record. I don't know if you guys have been following, those of you who are tapped in the community and things like that, but you'll notice we've had a lot of solar flares. Even this week, we had about, I think, 3 solar flares this week, right? Which was crazy. And right now there's currently a sunspot facing the earth. All right. So, and we actually had a point where the sun was doing its thing. Now they're calling it global warming. All right. I'm not going to talk about, I'm going to kind of get off of that, melanin thing, because a lot of times we're starting to sound like this.
So melanin is midi-chlorians shit.
It's like just a relentless.
So melanin is midi-chlorians and shit.
It's like people are basing their salvation off being melanated, basing that everything is going to be all right and we're superior and we're better and we're stronger, more powerful, more faster, and all those things. And yes, a lot of that is true. But guess what? LeBron is not LeBron just because he has melanin. Jordan is not Jordan just because he has melanin. Kobe is not Kobe just because he has melanin. Beyonce is not Beyonce just because they have melanin, right? These people put in work. They practice. Michael Jackson is not Michael Jackson simply because he has melanin. Whitney Houston is not Whitney Houston simply because she has melanin. They put in work. They trained. They sacrificed. They took time. They had vocal coaches. They went to church. They stayed after practice. Everybody knows Kobe with his Mamba mentality, right? Shooting 200, 300 shots a game. Okay. So we're in a different level, and we're at a level where we need to build and destroy. So we have the warmest years on record. Okay. I'm sure this year is going to make the 9th warmest year on record. All right. It's very important that we understand the time that we're living in. And being that we are going through this time of intense heat, being that we are living in the warmest climate on the planet, and even here in New York, right, the winter is even not as like wintry. The winter is not even like as wintry or anything like that. Yes, Memphis 9 Ether, you are correct. Cosmic radiation, okay, hitting the planet. All right. Now, it's what you do with the energy and what you do with the melanin. It's what you do. Everybody is melanated. All right. Black people, white people, Spanish people, Indian people, Chinese people, orangutans, dogs, cats, monkeys, rats, snakes, right? Everything that is breathing air and pumping blood has melanin in it. So I just want to be clear with that, right? That doesn't make you better or make you more supreme, right? There are, we in our history, in our culture, people who have been melanated, right, and have done some terrible things. Some of y'all have grown up around them, okay? Grown up around some of these savages, grown up around some of these hyenas, male and female, right? Grown up around some of these animals who have melanin or are highly melanated, right? That doesn't make you a supreme being simply because. You have to be able to tap into it. So, what we want to do is learn how to tap into it and how we can utilize the signs and symbols that the universe is presented to us. All right. So, let's continue. So, we know we're in a very, very high, intense solar arena. Okay, that's evident. So let's do this. Give me 1 second. So we had this week on December 7th, right? This is a 7 year. So we had on December 7th, 1982, Butler made free throw, made the Heat 40 for 40. Okay. 40 for 40. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So we've had the hottest 8 years on record. Now we have another sign and symbol where a record was broken. So they made 40 for 40 free throws. It was a perfect night of free throws from the Miami Heat. Okay. From the Miami Heat. So we had the Heat, 8 years Heat on record. We have the Miami Heat going 40 for 40. On December 7th, all right, we're 2023, the 7 year, and the 40 40, 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. These numbers are going to keep resonating. All right. So I want you to stick with me and pay attention as we continue to go. All right. Let's go to the next tab. Y'all know I love tab hopping. All right. Let's go to the next tab. Donovan Mitchell. Okay. There's these numbers again. Donovan Mitchell of the Cleveland Cavaliers, okay, scored a Cavs franchise record. You know, LeBron was from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was there forever. He didn't even score 71 points ever, okay? I don't even think LeBron ever scored 71 points, if I'm correct. If I'm not correct, somebody could check me in the comments, but I don't think LeBron ever scored over 60 something points, okay? So he scored 71 points in an overtime win, okay? And he became just the 7th player in NBA history to score 70 points. Okay, there's the number 7 again. There's the 71. 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, these numbers continue to go. Okay, what do I always tell you guys? There's no such thing as coincidence, only confirmation. You have to.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Okay. So we're tapping into the power of the dark side. All right. The dark side is not something bad, not something evil. We're talking about what is within, right? What they call the subconscious mind, what they call the soul. That you cannot see with the naked eye, but when you go and lay down and go into bed and go into the dream world, which is really the real world, that you're able to see. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. And again, that's 2 NBA records, black, black to black, back to back. Okay, I'm talking like
So
this,
melanin is midichlorians and shit.
right? Back to back, and we have these 2 NBA records of, we know it's mostly melanated people that are in this. Okay, this was the solar flares. Okay, this was actually, this is not updated. This is when I started pulling this up. 1 second. All right. So we are on. So this is actually. So we're doing this in real time today on the 13th. So there's look at these sunspots. They're like a phalanx. I didn't even see this, y'all. So we're doing this live. A phalanx of large sunspots is emerging over the sun's eastern limb. Okay. We know civilization started from the east and migrated to the west. I know we were here. I understand. We were here. I get it. I know. I understand. We were here. We've always been here. Those of us that are in America. I understand. But the bones say, the history says, the archaeology says, people migrated from the east to the west, right? I could only go by that. I could only go by the bones. I could only go by the archaeology. I could go by the carbon dating, right? And things like that. Now, have people been here before they were shipped here on slave ships? Where, as far as black people are concerned, yes. Were so-called people from India of a lighter hue that we call Indians or Native Americans here before white people came here and bought black people? White people bought black people here? Yes. That's verified by history. That is a fact. So, yes, some of your ancestors may have just been born here and have no ties to Eastern or Western, Northern or Southern Africa. So we established that, right? But we're talking about what the signs and symbols are. Let's look at this esoterically, okay? Today is Friday the 13th, as you guys know, all right? A phalanx of large sunspots is emerging over the sun's eastern limb, all right? So it says they knew they were coming, and those of you who follow me for years know, like Hollywood Vegito probably knows, because I always come up with the space weather. I look at this almost every day. All right. I love looking at space weather. I love science. So it's saying that we're going to have more of these solar flares. Now, as we have all these solar flares, right? As we have all this solar energy, what it means is this: your Black Panther suit, right? Your Black Panther suit. Now, this is where the melanin thing comes in. Your Black Panther suit. But this is not just black people, right? This is your soul, because your soul is.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Your soul is the dark side, right? And like I said, everyone has access to it now. There is no discrimination, right? There is no discrimination if you're going from a heart level. And I know this may be disappointing for you to hear, but this is a 7-year. This is a God year, and God is universal. I've said this in many different videos. It rains on the righteous and it rains on the unrighteous. There's sunny days for the righteous and there's sunny days for the unrighteous. There's joy for the righteous. There's joy for the unrighteous. There's pain for the righteous. There's pain for the unrighteous, right? There's no discrimination. You have free will. You have the ability to choose, right? So there's a lot of solar energy coming on the planet. I told y'all about what's happening in Peru. I told y'all about what's happening in Haiti. I told y'all about what's happening in China, right? There's also the rise of artificial intelligence. But guess what? There's also the rise of artificial people, okay? Let's keep going. Just want to clarify some of these things before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, right? Because we have to change the way we think. And we're going to go into what this change entails and what it looks like, all right? Let's continue. So we're getting now to the main point, all right? So there was a Cancer full moon on what day? January the 7th, 2023. 1/7/2023. All right. So you'll see it right here. They have it on the 6th, but technically, if you look at this is universal time, but if you look at 16 or whatever, this is universal time. They're going by 1807. But if you use our regular time zone, it was on the 7th, right? And this is the sign for Cancer, all right? The 6-9, all right? If you look, right, this is a 69, right? We all know that position when we're talking about intimacy, okay? Man on top of a woman or vice versa, right? Or whatever flavor is, right? It's still a 69, I guess, right? Whatever your flavor is. We're not discriminating. So when it comes to this particular thing, this is an energy of balancing, right? As above, so below, right? We want to look at this from a metaphysical perspective. I want your gears to change from the human into the God, right? Look at this thing from a bird's eye, Heru the Falcon view. Spread your wings with me, okay? Come into your God power, all right? Be who you truly are, all right? Take this journey with me, okay? So, it started in Cancer, a full moon in Cancer. Guess what the year is going to end in? This is December 26th. Whoa, it's going to be a full moon in Cancer. So guess what the theme of this year is? It's gonna be some Cancerian shit. All right. It's gonna be pretty much the theme of the year. And there's only one other time if we look through this, right? And this is July 17th, that it's not a full moon. It's actually a new moon in Cancer on July the 17th. Okay. Still, and still the numerology is still there. Okay. 7 7 7, right? There's a 17 right here. 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, it's the 7th month. All right, and you have December 26th, right? 6 plus 2 is 8, right? So we're still dealing with these 7 and 8 numbers. All right, so I just want to break this down and show you what we're dealing with. Now when we're talking about Cancer, Cancer is a water sign. All right, Cancer is a water sign. Cancer always the always not always. Cancer is also a crab, right? It's the astrological symbol of a crab, but it's also a water sign. Okay. So when we're talking about water, we're intensely talking about the sacral chakra or the sacral chakra, however you want to, whatever you way you want to call it, sacral, sacral, tomato, tomato, potato, potato, right? We're talking about developing what they call chi energy, right? What they would call fire water, what they would call kundalini energy, right? And there are methods and ways. With the planet being the warmest on record, our bodies are already heating up. Some of you may have gotten sick over the last couple of weeks. You Hollow said, I don't need no more water. Yeah, Hollow, I know you out there in the Yay area. I know that water's dropping heavy out there. Each Hollow's out there in the Yay in the Bay Area out there in California. So that water's dropping heavy out there. And that's a sign and symbol too, right? Even talking about that. We're in this, that's the city of LA, California, right? The capital of that is Los Angeles. Los Angeles. What do the Los Angeles need to do? The Los Angeles need to tap into their inner waters. What is a symbolic representation of your inner water? The symbolic representation of your inner water is the soul. Let's go back, right? Back in time to what year is it? 2019, when you watched Avengers Endgame. Let's go back actually even further to 2017, when you watched Avengers Infinity War, when Thanos got the Soul Stone, right? And he dropped what's her name? Gamora, right? I think that's her name. Correct me if I'm wrong. When he dropped Gabora, whatever her name was, right? And he dropped her and went and got the Soul Stone. Those of you who are into Marvel, when he came out and he got the Soul Stone, he was sitting in water. Okay, go back and watch it. After he dropped it and he received the stone, he was sitting in water. In Avengers Infinity War, when Hawkeye, right, which represented Heru, dropped Black Widow, which represented the third eye, and the sacrifice of the will, right, in order to dedicate yourself to a higher cause. That's why in Endgame, Hawkeye, right, again, representing Heru the Falcon, Falcon and the Hawk is interchangeable, and Black Widow representing the third eye. She's a spy. Remember, she's a regular human, but she's a spy. She has stealth. She has seductive powers, right? Which is a level of perception, of higher perception. She dropped the what you call it. She she died. She sacrificed herself for a higher cause. And when Hawkeye came up, he was in a puddle of water as well. Go back and watch it. Again, you'll see these scenes in movies now that I've told you about this, and those who have been rocking with me know that when you see water, right, they're talking about the soul. So even with what's happening in California with Hollow Vegeta's, out there in the Yay area, right, where they're having monumental rain. Rain is going crazy out there in California, particularly Northern California, from what I've read, because I don't watch the news, I read it, right? So I could pick and choose. And you shouldn't be watching the news. It's not informing you. It's not really giving you any information. 99% of it is propaganda. The only thing the news is good for is the weather. If you want to keep up with what's going on, read the news, right? Get on your smartphone, read. Not only is it better for you, but it'll help your comprehension, and it'll help you to understand things from a different perspective and think on your own. You'll read things and you'll be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Let me find another article. Let me find another article. And then you put these articles together, right? And then you'll be able to come up with a comprehensive understanding of what's really happening, instead of just taking something from a meme or somebody's Instagram post or what somebody said on TikTok and then regurgitating it like a foolish ass parrot, right? Like coming to me and giving it to me like I don't got no sense. Because I'm gonna rebut that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the year also of you standing on your square, right? If you have knowledge about something and you know you're right, don't back down for anyone, right? Make sure you stand on your square, but be able to prove what you're talking about, right? Don't just regurgitate something that sounds good or that you heard. And if you're wrong, right, this is also part of the soul's journey. Be able to admit that you're wrong. You know how many people are out here can't admit that they're wrong? Can't admit that they said the wrong thing? See, I'm not talking to you about doing a money spell or doing a love spell, right? I'm not here talking to you about astral traveling in the cosmos. All that I've done, all that I have done and can do, right? Spells are easy to get, right? There's a billion books on spells. There's a billion spells right there on Pinterest, right? I had somebody who was like, yo, how to do the spell, how to do a spell for this. I was like, yo, go on Pinterest. She went on Pinterest. Boom. She started doing her own spell work. She's manifesting all type of shit. I don't even hear from her no more. Shout out to her though. I don't even hear from her no more, right? But I taught her how to wax on, wax off, Danielson, right? Those of you who know that Karate Kid reference. I taught her how to wax on, wax off. Do it yourself. Don't come to me to learn how to do a spell. You do the legwork and you start experimenting, right? See what works. Try what works. I'll give you little tools and tips, right, along the way of what you can get, but you should understand it yourself, right? Come into an understanding of these things yourself. We're in the information age. The information is out here. It's up to you if you want to gain it. All this solar energy is not just for play. It's not just for you to think you're going to have this super mystical experience and be able to levitate one day. That shit is cool for your friends. That shit is cool to show your family. But if you could levitate, but you can't pay your bills, if you could levitate, but you don't know how to counsel your children or don't have a good relationship with your children, if you could levitate, but you can't go out on a date with a woman, or you don't know how to talk to a woman, vice versa, you don't know how to talk to a man, or you can't find a good man, right? Whatever these cases are. If you could do all this magical shit, shoot fireballs from your fingertips, right? What does it matter if the IRS is after you, right? You need to know how to manage and cope with life's ups and downs. You need to know how to harness this heat, harness this fire energy that is currently descending on the planet, that is naturally within you, but is being harnessed so that you could develop the energy in your heart's electromagnetic field, which what we're going to get into, so that your magnetic field is the magic. Okay, the reason I went, and you see in my last long video, I think it was the Kang video, my last long live I did, where we talked about the chakras, right? And I went into each chakra. That was a chakra decoded class right there, right? Go back and check that last live video I did if you want to get an in-depth version of the chakras. I'm not going to do that tonight because I did it already, right? But if you want to, and this is all that's energy that's about, that heat energy, that flowing, that solar energy, that real solar energy, the inner waters from your bloodstream rising up through the rivers of your body, right? Going through your tree of life that we call the nervous system. The nervous system is your tree of life. The leaves on your tree of life are your lungs, right? They even in your lungs, what looks like leaves, they call it alevii, right? ALEOVI. Check me. I got receipts, but check me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. I don't mind being wrong. I'd rather be right than wrong, right? I'd rather somebody tell me I'm wrong and show you that I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I could teach out a million spells if I really wanted to. But the spell, there's a million people here on YouTube, but basically getting shit off Pinterest, getting shit from books like 365 Days of Hoodoo, and just regurgitating that shit to do YouTube videos. And you think they're the Magi of the Earth. You think they're Harry Potter. You think they're Madame Blavatsky out here. They're not. They're having miserable lives. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, because they're not doing the personal development. Most of this work is about making you the best version of yourself. Most of this work is the work that so-called success coaches teach you, or success coaches try to teach you. But the only difference is they're not integrating magic. They're not integrating ancestral work. They're not integrating you being one with nature and natural cycles. Shout out to PB Randolph. Exactly. They're not integrating how to use, what was his science? His science was, I think it's Voltaire, right? Where he was talking about Tantra, right? And even with that, yo, shout out Hollow. You hitting the points today. I got to give you a horn for this. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're gonna, and even with what I was talking about, let's go back into this. Even with what Hollow's talking about, right? In his comment with PB Randolph, right? One of his great treatises or his books was Voltaire, where he's talking about the science of Tantra, right? And again, look at the symbol of Cancer. Again, it started this year. It's ending this year, okay? This is sex magic. Y'all want to know what's, I'm going to get off track. Y'all know how I do. But you know what sex magic is? It's simple. Truth is, let me tell y'all something. My years of doing this, right? I've been where y'all are, right? I wanted to know where the Crystal City and the Grand Canyon was too. I wanted to know where the portal in the Grand Canyon was too, right? I wanted to know about the portal that went from Africa to America in the Grand Canyon. I wanted to know where the aliens were, right? The grays, the zetas, the betas, and all these things I see on TikTok and the internet, right? And the funny thing about the aliens is, y'all know how I feel about the aliens. Those of y'all who know me, y'all know how I feel about the aliens, all right? Y'all know how I feel about the alien talk. The funny thing about the aliens is this: how come the aliens that they talk about on the internet and TikTok, they always look like humans? They always got heads, they always got arms, they always got legs, right? They're always in flying saucers. If this is such a higher intelligence, wouldn't they just astral travel in nothing? Right? Isn't the higher intelligence supposed to travel in with no vehicle? Isn't that what you and what I've done in my spiritual studies through meditation, visualization? Fuck it. Even if you don't do, if you're at day one spirituality, you've dreamt as a child, you dreamt as a toddler, you dreamt as a teenager. So you've astral traveled in some way, shape, or form. You've had some sort of lucid dreams. So wouldn't an alien being that's coming from another galaxy that has the technology to go from here, from the Milky Way galaxy all the way here on Earth, would they really need a ship? Think about this when you listen to some of these niggas on these channels, right? Why do they always have human bodies? Why don't none of them look like octopuses? Why they don't look like, I don't know, single cell amoebas? Why they don't look like dust, right? Why do they have to have a human shell? All right. I'm not saying, now, when I say this, I'm not saying aliens don't exist, right? What I am saying is, if an alien comes here and you're not spiritually cultivating your chi and raising your chi to the level where you're an honorable, upstanding person that speaks truth, that is just, right? That has the willpower to overcome obstacles and the willpower to live truth no matter what and get out your motherfucking ego, or is not on some the black woman is God because it boosts your ego. It's not because the black man is God because it boosts your ego, but understand that God is a collective. It's a coming together of a masculine and feminine energy principle, right? Understand that God is in the ethers and you are one with the ethers, but ain't none of y'all niggas moving the sun or the moon because there is a higher force that is controlling those things, no matter how much you fucking meditate and levitate, nigga. None of those things. So when we talk about PB, right? Randall, PB Randolph, right? And his treatise, right? Again, He was all about sex magic. Sex magic is nothing but you in the cancer period, in the cancer experience, right? Man and woman, right? I gotta say man and woman. I'm no disrespect to the other communities, right? But this is the only till two men can make life, till two women together can make life. I'm gonna go with man and woman. I'm sorry, you know. I'm sorry. Shots fired. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. But I don't care. Do what you want to do as far as your sexual expression, right? When it comes to creating life, only a man and woman could do it. Till I see parthenogenesis happening again and revived, this is what's happening right now in 2023. So, to a man and a woman enjoying coming together. If you are a man and you don't have a woman, you should be practicing semen retention, because all you're doing is squeezing your semen out into nothing. It's not doing anything. It's not going into a reservoir, right? That's literally like you throwing your money out the window. It's like you throwing your money out the window. It's not even like you being in a strip club. At least you're getting some ass shaking or something like that, right? At least you're getting a physical thrill from being there. Now you could say you're getting a physical thrill from, squeezing off all day, but see how you feel after. See if you're motivated to go to the gym. See if you're motivated to eat right. See if you're motivated to meditate, right? See what it does for you. Now, if you have a wife or you have a woman, and I'm not talking about, being a play and having 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 women or 2, 3, 4, because that's going to deplete your energy too. I'm talking about if you have a wife, you know what I'm saying? Or say you got max 2 wives, right? And but this is it, right? This is who you are putting your seed in, and they understand you and you understand them, and you got dreams, she got dreams, right? And you're trying to help each other manifest your dreams, right? And you say affirmations during sex, you playing certain frequencies and vibrations during sex, you're playing certain music during sex, right? Not that ratchet y'all be fucking to. You know what I'm saying? I've done it too. I ain't a hater. You know what I'm saying? I've done it too. But we got to get to a point to where even our sex lives are metaphysical. Even our sex lives are spiritual. That is where the magic happens. Okay. I manifested brand new truck 2017 off the lot, off of sex magic. Facts. Okay. My credit automatically changed out of nowhere. Facts. Okay. Wasn't lighting a billion candles at the time. Okay. I didn't even have a space to where I could do that. Right. But guess where the candle was? Guess where the candle was? The candle was here. The candle was here. You understand me? The candle was here and here. And my ancestors have always been here. Always been here. So you thinking that you got to be this mystical master with a trillion crystals on and, all white clothes. Be careful of these people who come into this and teach you to look at this through ego. Okay? That Cancer experience, again, it is a water sign. It is dealing with the moon. The moon is also dealing with the inner self. But the moon also, on the flip side, deals with illusions. Okay? If you pull the moon card, those of you who are tarot readers, you pull the moon card in this reverse, you're dealing with illusions. Hit that like button if you're here. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, all right? I ain't even really start cooking yet, all right? Y'all know how I do, and y'all know how I've been doing since 2023. That moon card deals with illusions on the reverse. On the flip side, it's dealing with inner light, understanding something new, into like that of a higher nature, right? But if you are dealing with illusions, right, you're dealing with getting gaslit, right? You're dealing with some sort of narcissism, right? You're dealing with self-delusion, right? To where you're totally out of reality. Shout out to Sly for the $1 donation. Gunshot to Sly. One more shot for the donation. I appreciate you, Sly. Thank you. You are dealing with illusions, okay? Actually, let me keep you up for a second, Sly. You're dealing with illusions, okay? So when you see people come from this angle, right, of, yeah, we were women, and I'm using women first because y'all want to be first in everything, right? So y'all gonna be first on this too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were women, and women came first, and the matriarchy ran the world. Well, it wasn't 100% peaches and cream, my sister, when ladies ran the world too. when it was just the matriarchy. It wasn't peaches and cream. Go back to Egypt. Go back to Sumer. Study your history. There was wars. The Egyptian had Medjay warriors, trained marksmen. The science of capoeira, which is a military fighting style, comes from Egypt, comes from Sumer. Sumer and Egypt are right there together. So I'm putting them together because some of y'all, I can hear y'all in y'all head, well, what about Samaria? What about Samaria? What about the Sumerians? Nigga, they were right neck and neck to each other. Get an ancient map, all right? Get it? It's not, and the gods, Enki and Enlil, are similar to Asar, Set, and all of them, right? Just study, okay? So when we go into this science, this real science of moonlight, we're talking about inner light. This is inner light that you are cultivating. You can't see it. I do not have fancy clothes, fancy spiritual clothes on. I got a hoodie, what I call this is y'all know Urban X. Hold on, let me move my microphone a little bit. Urban X. This is like the conscious community Gucci right now. The I Am hoodie. I had to get one in the gold color. It's a nice hoodie too. I call this conscious community Gucci, conscious community Versace. Check out the I don't want to mess my head up because I got my hat tilted. But y'all can see the Eye of Heru right here. Right. So go to urbanx.com, get your conscious community Gucci, conscious community Versace. All right. We got to support our own that are creating, those of us that are part of the culture. All right. So let's go back to the moonlight. So this moonlight energy is, guess what? When you're making love and you're cultivating sex magic, what you're doing is you and your woman are coming together, right? That's where babies come from. So that's moonlight energy, right? If you're really a person about your lovemaking, right? You're going to be visualizing yourself. I know I do this as a man. I don't know about y'all. You're upset. I can't speak for y'all. But your imagination, you're going to be visualizing yourself in the coochie, right? You're going to visualize your wand making moves inside the coochie, making circles inside the coochie, right? Not just going in and out, but making circles, making moves, right? Rotating in that thing, all right? That type of thing will stimulate your woman, right? A lot of y'all watch too much men. Y'all watch too much porn, okay? Y'all need to read. Y'all want to really understand how to be better lovers and be able to connect with women better. Read women's erotica. Don't watch porn. Read women's erotica, okay? Read books by Zane, Zane. You'll understand how to handle a woman's body better. Because only women can really tell you that, right? A man, we don't really know. You know what I'm saying? We watching porn, we visual, we think we watch porn, we know what we're doing. That ain't it, all right? But I say all that to say, and as a woman, she's going to give birth to your seed, okay? If you have a seed for a business, you have seed for, whatever it is you want to manifest, she will help you manifest it, right? She has the womb to do it, right? And vice versa. He's able to as a man, he's able to put energy into you, if he's the right type of man, into your body to help you as a woman receive certain things. See, men are givers, women are receivers by nature. This is nature, right? We talk about the Elohim, Elohim. Elo, if you take it backwards, right? Hole in Elohim. So whole, right? The black hole is the womb of the woman. Okay. That is the receiving end. That is the black hole. But if you saw my video with Mike Bell and Adika Butler, you also know there's a white hole. Okay. Where after things go into the black hole, they come out of the white hole. This is scientific theory right now. But my spirit team told me that it's scientific fact after I did a meditation after doing that video. Okay. So things that go in the black hole do come out in a different shape, way, or form. Just like when you put a sperm in a woman, you got Rob Blackstorm. Okay. You got Rob Blackstorm. Shout out to me. Shout out to you for being here as a creative being. So it's the same way you use this Cancerian energy, this water energy, and this chi, but just don't use it simply for sex, right? Then you are no different than one of these savage hyenas. Let's continue. Y'all all right? If you hear, y'all hear me, drop a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense. I don't want to confuse anybody, but drop a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense, please. Let me know. While I share this with y'all. All right, so we've been through that. We did that. Well, let's go to this. Okay, so we've been doing sevens and eights. Okay, so you guys have been seeing sevens and eights. So we have when Cancer season starts. So remember, we said Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, we said Cancer was the ending full moon and the first full moon of the year. All right, we said that Cancer was a water sign. I explained the 6-9 numerology of Cancer and how it relates to sexual energy. Sexual energy is sacral energy, sacral energy, secretion energy. If you lust for something, it is part of sacral energy, right? And when people think of lust, they only think of a man or woman, or they lust for a car, or they lust for money. But what about a lust for higher spiritual power? What about a lust for a balanced existence? What about a lust for peace of mind? What about a lust for prosperity overall in your life? Okay, that's a different type of lust. We're going to get into that also. So, this summer solstice, okay, let's do some quick numerology. I thought this was interesting. This year's summer solstice is on June 21st, 2023. We talked about all these different things with the heat, right? That 8 year with the heat that we talked about. The 8 years was the warmest. Go back real quick for those of you who haven't been here, all right? How the past 8 years were the warmest. We're not going to go into everything. I just want to put that up and we'll go back to where we were. Okay. So the summer solstice, let me make sure y'all there with me. All right. So the summer solstice, right, is from June 21st, 2023. So June 21st, let's do the math, okay? So June is 6. It's the 6th month of the year. So 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 plus 3 is 16. 13 plus 3 is 16. Let me say it again, Dr. Umar style. 13 plus 3 is 16. So what's 6 plus 1? Let me see it in the chat. What's 6 plus what's 6 plus 1? Well, I sipped some liquid chlorophyll water. What's 6 plus 1, y'all? All right. The Jedi got it. Vegeta got it. Okay. 7. That is correct. All right. So, being that it is a 7, what is this? Is a 7 year again. 2023 adds up to 7. So the fact that this summer solstice, we're talking about this heat energy, right? We're talking about this chi energy. We're talking about this kundalini energy, right? It all comes up to 7. It means that we're talking about a year where we have the ability to generate spiritual energy at a very high level. In my opening monologue, I talked about the quickening of the girl that was talking about that poor little boy, right, and screaming on that poor little boy. And as soon as she did that, she got instant karma from someone that was bigger, tougher, and stronger than her. And she tucked her tail and went into her goddamn car. Okay. That's how things will manifest this year. We are in a quickening year. We are in a year where the hot energy that we manifest, right, will let off steam. Okay. It's going to let off steam, and there's going to be more. That's steam. I'm going to talk about that too, right? We're going to be letting off steam, and that steam is basically our spiritual energy that is going out into the ethers, going out into the universe, right? And we're literally leaving little dewdrops of who and what we are, and it'll come back to us in a quick, fast, hurry cycle, right? The same way heat is popping, okay? It's the same way this energy is popping. All right. Let's continue. So, the title of this was the Chariot, right? Building a chariot of strength, the spiritual chariot of strength. So let's look at this chariot card. Let me make sure. Oh, why is it not sharing? Hold on. It's weird. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Where do we go? So let's look at this Chariot Tarot card real quick, right? And let's decipher what this means for us. And this maybe gives you even some more insight into, excuse me, the tarot. So the tarot, this Chariot card has again the number 7. All right, we just saw the summer solstice, which brings in the summer season, right? The summer solstice always brings in the summer season, which is also, I forgot to say, in the constellation of Cancer. Okay, so Cancer season brings in the summer solstice. Cancer season brings in the summer solstice. So we've already discussed Cancer ad nauseum, water, the moon, how it starts the year, how it ends the year, right? Now, let's look at the symbolism, because this is basically going to be your vehicle that you're going to ride. Another word for the chariot, those of you who understand esoteric circles, is going to be the Merkaba or the Merkaba, right? Actually, while it's on my mind, let's go through that and we'll come right back to this. So it's the Merkaba or the Merkaba. So the Merkaba or the Merkaba looks like this. I have something that's lit. Let me see if y'all can see it. Oh yeah, perfect. All right. So this is a Merkaba, okay, or Merkaba. You'll see the Star of David also in this particular symbol, but this is also that chariot, right? That I just had on the screen. Okay, this is basically another geometric, or what they call sacred geometry, representation of that particular geometric shape, right? And you'll also see, those of you who study the Kabbalah, right? I'm going to hit y'all from multi angles. If you study the Kabbalah, the Merkaba is, I never heard anybody break it down from this. So this is going from Kether, right? Kether or Kether or ether, right? Kether, Kether, ether, right? Kether, Kether, ether. It's the reason they sound the same. So this is also the same symbol, right? Tiferet, Gabora, Chesed, Bina, and Chokma. It's the same symbolism. Y'all see that? Drop a 1 if y'all see that. Let's superimpose that shit. Let's see. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all see what I'm talking about. Y'all see how what they meant with a Merkaba is literally these higher centers of the tree of life. Now, I don't see y'all dropping 1, so let me make sure y'all drop some 1s. Let me know if this makes sense. Okay. All right, Hollow got it. If I got 1, that means I got somebody. All right. So now, if you look again, let me do this just again for the people in the back, because I don't see y'all dropping 1s like that. So it's the same shape. All right. These are the higher levels of what they call the Merkaba, or the Kabbalah, I'm sorry, and the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is basically a spiritual map based in Jewish mysticism currently, right? They got this from Commissions, but I digress, okay? And when you look at this, right, this is these 3 right here, uno, dos, tres. This is what they call the ethical triangle, okay? Down here is where your money magic, your love magic, right? Your get a car magic, your get a house magic, all this is down here. And it's pretty much law of attraction shit, right? Netsack deals with emotions. This Hod deals with thoughts, okay? This is a map of the spirit. This is a map of a solar map of how to enhance different spirits, okay? Different spirits are different energies. Same way you have a spirit at work, you have a spirit with your girlfriend or boyfriend, you have a spirit with your mom and your dad, you have a spirit when you go to church or the mosque or the temple, right? You have a spirit when you're watching Rob Black Storm, same difference, right? So this is what they call the astral triangle, okay? So the astral world that y'all dream about, y'all go here in your sleep every night, okay? It's very common, all right? Now, the astral again, thoughts, emotion. This is devotion. The moon, again, that same energy of Cancer. Okay. So your devotion, right? And this is water. This would be your Yemaya as well. Those of you who are into the Yoruba, this would be your Yemaya. This would be your Oshun. This would be your Alegba. Okay. This is going to be your Heru or your Ogun, right? This is going to be, I'm sorry, your Shango. This is going to be Ogun. Sorry. Or is going to be your Ogun. This is going to be what's my in the let's just for lack of memory. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to decode because y'all know how to decode this whole shit. But this is your basic law of attraction right here. Water, emotion, right? Dedication, your ideas, right? In your inner world, right? Your ideas in your inner world, your moonlight. I can't see when I manifest a thing about it, what your dreams are, right? Your dreams are in the moonlight, right? When you're sleeping in the dark, right? That's your moonlight when you're dreaming. You have your emotions, your feelings, how you feel. That's why they say you got to feel, right? And then you have your thoughts, your ideas, your mantras, your affirmations, right? Then you have your manifestation. It comes into the world. So this right here is called the astral triangle down here. These three are called the ethical triangle. Why? Because you have to have a will to have justice and to have balance. Okay. So this triangle, which is your Merkaba, again, you could get this off of Amazon, by the way. It actually lights up, but I can't show y'all the stand. But okay. So your Merkaba, your Metatron's cube, is literally a model of this. Okay. Little secret that I haven't heard anybody talk about. So now your ethical triangle, once you're fair and balanced and just, right? And have unconditional love, right? That means even your haters, right? You got love for them because they're making you stronger. Even your ops, you got love for them because they're making you better, right? They're giving you the opportunity to think and create. And when you have the ability to be just, that means objectively just, not subjectively just, right? Now you are hitting the ethical triangle. Basic magicians are down here. Most of your YouTube magicians are right here. They're right down here in this bottom. But once you hit Metatron's cube, now you have spiritual power, Bina. Okay, the power of the darkness. Okay, you have the ability to now have.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Okay, the power of the dark side. Okay, that's I'm sorry, right here, the power that is within you, and then you have inner wisdom. That's when you have the voice of God speaking to you. That's when they talk about the voice of God is speaking to you, or you're able to hear the voice of God. Most people do not hear the voice of God. Okay? They have the voice of 1,000 negative ancestors and niggas on social media and niggas in the media speaking to them. And their mama, their daddy, their cousins, their homegirls, their homeboys, etc., etc. And then with all that, right, you have inner light and outer light, right? It's inner light and outer light, as above, so below. So I want to break that down before. And god damn it, I think that was a masterful explanation. Back to myself, shit. All right, so that's Tree of Life 101 in a short nutshell. All right, I'll expand on that if y'all want me to do a video just on the Tree of Life. So let's go back to the Chariot. So the Chariot tarot card, okay? It embodies what I just showed you for the last 5 minutes. It embodies the Merkaba. It embodies the sorry, I forgot to tell y'all the top three. These three up here. This is called the supernatural triangle. So these three, Kether, Chokma, and Bina, supernatural triangle. So that's when you get into these supernatural abilities, the ability to manifest things strictly off the power of the tongue, strictly off the power of a thought, right? Strictly off your higher three chakras, your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra radiating that energy, right? If you look at a crown, you notice it has all those spikes on it, right? That's the radiation of your energy, right? Because when your body heats up, again, this is fire water when we're talking about cancer, right? When we talk about cancer, we're talking about that crab energy, right? You see a crab, the way it moves, right? It's also always, if you ever seen a crab move, it moves fast, right? It's not moving slow. It's also the Egyptian scarab, what they would call the dung beetle. And the dung beetle, what it does, it plants its seed in, it plants its seeds inside of dung, right? Poop, right? It plants the seed inside of poop and then it rolls that poop. And a dung beetle can actually move 10 times its body weight, right? Which was an interesting fact. I didn't even know. A scarab beetle or a dung beetle can move 10 times its body weight, which is why the Egyptians used it as a symbol. Let's go back into the chariot though. So the chariot, right? We're going into the this is the yin and the yang. I just showed y'all that on the supernatural triangle. You could say this is Chokmah right here. Those of you who study the Kabbalah, or Tahuti or thought, right? And this is Bina, right? Or what the Kamishas would call Sekar, but let's say Bina, right? If you really get a good look or have this card, this is actually looks like a woman with lipstick, right? A melanated, highly melanated woman, I'm going to say, because everybody has melanin, highly melanated woman. And this is essentially a man, right? Or a pale man, right? And this is that balance of yin and yang energy, right? Once you're moving, and this is the energy you have to have coming into this year if you want to develop these spiritual powers, these spiritual abilities, these psychic abilities. You want to be a levitating ass nigga? You could be a levitating ass nigga. You want to be move things with your mind ass nigga? You could be a move thing with your mind ass nigga. You want to be able to read mind ass nigga? You could be a read mind ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You want to channel ancestors ass nigga? You could be a channel your ancestor ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? All the abilities are able and up to you, but there's going to be special ones you will be bestowed with based on your level of understanding, based on your level of heart being as light as a feather. Some of y'all want spiritual experiences, right? Where you're able to do these things, but you haven't done the work to get there. You're still pro-black. You're still anti-white. You're still not Trump. You're still go Biden. You're still go Trump. You're still no Biden. You're still black woman, white woman, light skin, dark skin, love, hate, dislike, right? Everything has to exist. Once you come to a point, everything, the aliens, the clones, you're scared of AI. I'm not going to go too deep into AI because me, Adika, and Michael Bell are going to re-up or talk about AI, but you're scared of these different things. You have not yet conducted the ability to become a sphinx. This is essentially controlling your animal spirit. Remember, we talked about heat and fire. These are lions, okay? Lions, Leo, is the sign of the sun. It's the sign of fire. Leo is the fire sign. It's a sun sign, okay? So when you could control your energy and don't allow the animal within, when my video that I talked about, when I did a 64-second breakdown of what a demon or a daemon is, right? And I said that it is the animal spirit within you. That is what this chariot card is represented. So this chariot, right, is a representation. This is all, again, the Merkaba. This is you, your spiritual body, whatever you want to call it. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spears on the top of the Kabbalah. I've given you all different ways to reference it, right? Now, when you look at this particular image, right, you see the wheels in the back, okay? Wheels right here, but it's chilling, right? It looks like it's chilling, okay? And this is you maintaining a state of equilibrium. The lions aren't moving, right? But it is still a chariot. Nonetheless, it still has the ability to move, okay? So this is you understanding yin and yang. This is not to say you don't have an obvious, like, what I want to say, human preferences, right? So I may not like I don't know. Let's I don't know. I don't like sauerkraut, right? That's a preference. I don't like sauerkraut. But just because you like sauerkraut, it doesn't take away from me, right? You like sauerkraut. eat sauerkraut. I'm not gonna say, oh, you like sauerkraut? Ew. I don't know how you like, people do that to you. I don't know why you like sauerkraut. Like, you know what I'm saying? God damn, you like that sauerkraut? Shit, that shit nasty. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, look, you see this nigga? This nigga like sauerkraut. Fuck out. Shame you and shit like that. That's your ego. That's when your heart is not light as a feather. You still have not reached balance, my friend. This is not about being a good person, right? Because again, it could get ugly. You're going to defend yourself. This is a chariot, nonetheless. This is a war chariot, okay? You're building this within yourself, but it does take time, okay? Now you're looking at this particular thing. So this looks like a spinning top, right? Or a chakra, okay? The word for chariot, right? The Hebrew word for chariot is chet. No, I'm sorry. Is the Hebrew word for chariot chet? Hold on. I might be saying the wrong thing. Let me pull this up. This book, the Kabbalistic Tarot. Great book. Highly recommend it, right? And the Hebrew word for chariot is... I think I'm right, actually. I think I'm right. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. Yeah, okay, so I am right. The Hebrew word for chariot is chet. And chet, right? When you talk about chet, you're saying, so the words are chakra, right? Or so Ra is essentially chi, it's kundalini fire, right? It's serpentine energy, right? It's prana, it's all these things wrapped up in one. So chet ra or chat ra or chak ra. You understand? So even the word chakra has its origins with my ancestors. No disrespect to the people from India, right? Or the people from Indus Kush, right? The original Dravidians, right? Of Indus Kush, right? There's nothing wrong with honoring those that your ancestry, those of you who are of different races and cultures, right? There's nothing wrong with honoring your ancestors. It's just the same way as you paying homage to where you're from, right? But we don't want to do it to the point where we have a sense of egomania by thinking that we are better than someone else. Because again, if you have a Ferrari and all you do is, I say this many times, you have a Ferrari and all you do is drive around the projects, right? Or you have horses and all you do is ride them around, a small section of your farm, you're not really utilizing what you have properly, okay? So you have racehorses, but all you do is circling around, your 1 acre of farmland. You're not really running them horses the way they're supposed to. So your chariot, right? This is spinning chakra. Chakra basically means spinning wheel. Okay, it's literally the definition of chakra. So your chakras are tied to your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is literally your inner waters. Okay, so that's how your waters flow from your gonads or your ovaries all the way up, right, through your adrenals, right, through your pancreas and your what else? The heart, your thymus, right, your thyroid glands, your pituitary gland, and your pineal gland. Okay, so pineal, crown, pituitary, I'm sorry, uh, pineal and pituitary. You would say pineal, crown, pituitary is third eye, right? Because that's where the secretion comes from, right? The pineal has a residence, but the secretion really is from the pituitary, right? That's really, to me, more so that I study this, your third eye, but I don't want to rock the cart too much. And then you have your throat chakra, your thyroid. You have your heart chakra, which is the thymus. The thymus actually looks like a butterfly, right? Then you have, I forget, I think it's the pancreas. Don't attack me if I'm wrong. I think it's the pancreas though, or something. I'm feeling like it's something on top of the pancreas, maybe the spleen, but that's a chakra of an endocrine system. Then you have your adrenals, which is tied to your sacral chakra or your sacred chakra, your creative chakra. And then you have your your gonads or your ovaries, right? Your root chakra, your sacral, where the root of your sexual energy is, what you're rooted in, right? What you actually lust for. If you're lusting triggered by fear and anxiety, right, your whole body resonates when you're scared. Your whole body resonates when you see Trump and you don't like him. Your whole body resonates when you're talking shit about Black Lives Matter when 2 years ago you had a Black Lives Matter sticker on your car, right? So it has physical resonance and it has an energy charge based on what you pay attention to. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you focus on is your chariot. It is what you ride on, right? You can let the sphinxes take you wherever you want to go, right? You see people's animal spirits running wild, just like homegirl I mentioned earlier, right? Who was talking to a child crazy, and then she got checked by someone bigger, right? She got checked by a bigger animal than her, but she was still in her animal spirit, so her animals took over. But in this case, when you are riding your chariot, you have your animal spirits managed. And you are doing that by channeling energy. The way you channel energy is through meditation. Another way you channel energy is through diet. Another way you channel energy is by listening to certain vibrations, frequencies, 430, 432 hertz, 518, 714. You've seen all the memes, right? Instagram, whatever, Facebook. Or I shouldn't have to break each one down, right? If you want me to, I will, or just go to my community wall, right? I literally have a breakdown of different tones from, and basically they're bag fed, BAGFED, bag fed C, right? Bag fed C, going from the crown to the root, bag fed C, different musical notes that'll literally just help your chakras open up. All you gotta do is listen to it as background music. How simple is that, right? You don't gotta do a whole bunch. We're musical people by nature, right? And this is all of humanity. The whole world follows us musically, melanated beings, right? So we're musical people by nature, right? And everybody likes music. Majority of people love music, right? Even if you don't love it, you like it. So music has the ability, it is a frequency that you could tune into. Don't make this thing hard. Another way is physical fitness, okay? You got to do work on this path. You can't just be talking shit. Another thing is studying. Okay, these wings, this is the winged solar disk of Ra. This is an Egyptian or Kemetic symbol. All right, this is our Kemetic symbols too. Okay, but this is you managing the animal within. Okay, this is a shield of protection. Okay, so everybody talks about, well, how do I protect myself? How do I protect myself from the demons, from Yaldabaoth, from the aliens, from the devils, from the demons outside? Oh, my ancestors! Oh my God, how do I protect myself? Start eating more green foods in your diet, start drinking more water, start listening to more binaural beats, isochronic tones, and frequencies in the background, start listening to more music that uplifts you, get your ass in the gym or start working out at home. Stop drinking a million tons of soda and eating a million fucking burgers, shit that weighs your body down. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what you should do if you want to get to these spiritual powers that you say you want, so that you stop being scared of AI, the aliens, Yaldabaoth, the demons, the soul suckers out there, the dark deceased ancestors that are out there. There are dark deceased ancestors out there. Don't get me wrong. Earthbound ancestors that will fuck with you, only if you're in a low vibration, though. Right? They don't fuck with me. Haven't fucked with me for years. Right? I'm not saying they haven't fucked with me, and I haven't heard thoughts and heard things. Right? You have good. Hold up. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. You have light ancestors and you have dark ancestors. Okay, you have ancestors that are ancestors that are positive. You have ancestors that are negative. You got your Uncle Willie in you, right? Uncle Willie was a piece of shit. He was a womanizer. He beat women. Uncle Willie was drunk every day. Uncle Willie was a hater, right? He was jealous. He's part of your bloodline, right? We all got an Uncle Willie in our bloodline. You got a sister Anna. She was jealous. She was envious. She ain't like her kids. She wasn't a good mother, right? Uncle Willie was a bad father, right? Aunt Mabel was she turned her back against Martin Luther King when he asked her to go freedom riding, right? Uncle Willie you know, Nat Turner, right? Uncle Willie turned Nat Turner in, right? And Denmark Vesey, right? People in our bloodline. It is what it is, right? So these people all literally are in war in what they call your junk DNA. right? As above, so below. So if you think they're out there, you wouldn't be able to communicate with them if they weren't also in here. I want you to understand that. These people that you think, these dark deceased ancestors that y'all call ghosts and demonic entities and all that, that y'all think are just out there, they would not be able to connect with you if they were not also in here. When your vibration is lower, right, and you let the animal within you, the savage within you, the hyena within you take over, you give them access. Your vibration is low. They're able to swoop in to your low vibrational ass, and then Uncle Willie starts to take over. Aunt Mabel starts to take over, right? And now Aunt Mabel and Uncle Willie is interacting with now the other ancestors that are like Uncle Mabel and Aunt Willie. The same way you congregate with people that you like, right? When you was doing your bullshit, right? Let's say you was club hopping or whatever. I'm just using club hopping because everybody had that phase where they was doing that. You was club hopping like crazy. Some of y'all might still be doing that, right? You club hopping like crazy, right? And you was club hopping and you had your clique that you was club hopping with. Guess what? Your ancestors in you got a clique that connects with the other ancestors out there, the ghosts and all that. That's gonna click up too when you're in a low vibration. They're gonna click up too. Stop thinking everything is out yourself and separate from. Okay, that's you not riding your chariot right. All right. I appreciate that, Jedi. Let me drop another one. Drop a one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, I know Jedi got it, but drop a one in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, that spiritual homie got it. All right, drop a one in the chat if you get what I'm saying. Okay, I ain't gonna be too long, but I am gonna be strong while I'm dropping this. All right. I appreciate y'all rocking me on a Friday night. Y'all could be doing anything else, but you're here with me. Please hit a like button for the algorithm. All right. Please drop a comment for the algorithm. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new here. I'm gonna be dropping heat all motherfucking year. We're gonna purge all motherfucking year. You understand? All right. We're gonna get it right. And y'all can fact check me. Please do. Okay. I got receipts though. Not one receipt, not two receipts. I got receipts. All right. So let's continue going. Let's go back into the chariot. So where were we? Word to red alert. Yeah. All right. So now, you understand this is the animal nature within you. Within you, let's just leave you a visual because some of y'all are visual. Within you, outside of you. Okay. The ghost, as the Jamaicans say, the duppy and them outside of you, okay? Then you have the ghost and the duppy and them inside of you, okay? How you master that, okay? How you purge that, okay? You start them chakras spinning, meaning you have to be devoted, you have to lust, you have to have your energy going towards you wanting to be your highest self. Not the smartest nigga in the world, okay? You can read all the books and regurgitate the shit like a parrot. Rob Blackstone's been there. I've done it. I had all the knowledge. I knew everything. I knew everything. I thought, right? But it's not about that. To know truth is to live truth. I could give you a book about sex, right? I could read the greatest poetry about sex in the world, right? Beautiful poetry. Shakespearean, whoever you think is Maya Angelou wrote it, right? And, poet laureate, whoever wrote it, the girl that was at Biden's inauguration, right? She grew up and wrote a poem about sex, right? But if I never had sex, you don't really know what sex is, right? Hopefully nobody's a virgin that is watching. I'm not saying hopefully. So, if you're a virgin, it's your thing. But if you never had sex, you don't know what sex is until you actually experience it, right? It's a whole nother ball game from the poetry, from the things you read when you were a kid and before you were having sex. It's a whole nother ball game, all right? So you have to basically live. To know truth is to live it. And this is what this is about. This is you raising these wings up. This is your shield, right? This is your protection. You constantly wanting to live truth. You can't, even if the truth causes you to be wrong, even if the truth takes you away from what you previously thought, even if the truth causes you to change and pivot things you knew for 20, 30, 40 years. You're willing to give it up so that you live truth. And you're willing to think on the ideas that you have and change your perception. Okay? Now, he has this tunic, right? This tunic has all these astrological symbols and things like that. This is basically just you being in tune with nature, all right? You see it's black, just like the stars in space, because the planets are moving around in the darkness of space, right? Whether you think it's a flat Earth, or a round Earth, or a square Earth, or a triangular Earth, or Earth that's shaped like a pizza, a triangular pizza, a Sicilian pizza, a circular pizza. You know, I don't know why that's such a big hang up in the melanated fucking community. Well, all the communities, right? If the Earth is flat or not. Nigga, you're still here. You're going to be here, whether it's flat or not, right? You're still going to be here. So who gives a fuck, right? You still got bills. You still got mortgage. You still got car insurance. You still got cell phone bills. You still got kids. You got things to do and people to feed, all right? Give me a second, y'all. Here's the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave y'all with something. Hopefully y'all don't go away. Give me 1 second.
Taking place, world's using faith as the government vaccinates. Hard to keep your head on straight in this world of the snakes. Reptilians pose as heads of state and Congress. You gotta shine on regard.
back, y'all. Damn, y'all left already? Shit. Can't take a break on these YouTube streets. All right, let's keep it going though. I salute y'all that stayed down though and stayed true. You know, this is life, man. There's gonna be people, you know, when you go on your journey and you take a break, man. Yo, appreciate that, Junkyard Jedi. Yeah, I got something coming. I got something coming on that. You know what I'm saying? Um, got something coming on that. All right, so let's continue to keep going. All right, so the chariot. All right, so we already broke down this bottom half, the solar disc, the light, right? This is also dealing with your solar plexus chakra. Your solar plexus chakra, scientifically speaking, is also called your celiac plexus. All right, it's right up right at the top of your stomach, and it's literally where all energy goes. When I talked about Spider-Man, right? No Way Home, and Electro, Jamie Foxx's character in Spider-Man No Way Home, he represented the solar plexus chakra, okay? And if you looked at when he came into the mix, right? After he was the second person that came into the mix. No, actually it was the Sandman, right? Sandman first was Doc Ock. Doc Ock represented the third eye, okay? Remember, there was three Spider-Mans in Doc Ock. Doc Ock represented the throat chakra, okay? Which is the third expression of the higher chakras. He was the first person to get healed in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he was the first villain to emerge in Spider-Man No Way Home, okay? The second was Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. That was the heart, okay? Throat, heart chakra, right? The uh, person after that was the Sandman, the sacral chakra, right? And remember, he helped Spider-Man if you saw No Way Home initially. And then the person after that was the solar plexus chakra, which was represented by Jamie Foxx. And then after that, the lizard. But the lizard was already caged up. All right. The same thing with your root chakra. Okay. It's caged up if you're living in fear. Okay. That's one of the things. So your solar plexus chakra is the celiac, what is called the celiac plexus. This is the electrical part of your body where energy is flowing all through your body. So the solar plexus chakra does has as above, as all the chakras do, or all the chet ras, right? Now that we know the Hebrew word is chet for the chariot, right? So the chet ra or the chakras all have an as above, so below, right? The endocrine system is just the below portion, but the as the above is all the external energies that are able to propel these sweet waters, right, of Oshun up into the body, what they call your emotions or your energy emotion. So this is the winged solar disc that is flying, right? That is flying up, right? Energy rising, Kundalini rising, Chi rising, Ra rising, Prana rising, okay? Rising, okay? Raising, okay? Up. I talked about this. Now I want to talk about this a little bit, all right? Because a lot of people listening to Bobby Hemmett, and I love Bobby Hemmett. You know I've shared him on the channel. I would never say a goddamn disrespectful word about Bobby Hemmett. Who the fuck am I? Okay? To say anything disrespectful about Bobby Hemmett. But a lot of people took what he said and ran with it when he said he was in the middle of the zodiac. He doesn't mean that, he didn't mean, at least to my understanding, right? And the way I'm interpreting it, he didn't mean that the zodiac wasn't important. He didn't mean that literally the world that you live in, where different planets literally are closer to the world, that it doesn't matter. Okay. What he means is that he is in the middle, being that he is in the sun of the zodiac, and the zodiac basically revolves around him, so that he is able to utilize each influence of the zodiac to his best interest. This is how I'm thinking he's interpreted. Maybe he didn't say that. Maybe he was just saying, I'm the fucking zodiac, right? Maybe that's really what he meant. I don't know. But I'm not above the zodiac. Okay. Our culture, based on my studies, based on my meditations, based on my astral travels, based on even my psilocybin trips. Okay. And like I said, I don't play with the psilocybin trips. I use those for deeper meditation. Have told me and shown me that beyond this veil, right, are natural spirits, and that the Netzaru, what the Cometians or the Egyptians call the Netzaru, nature spirits, and they all are dealing with the constellations, okay, that natural elements, okay. Yamaya is the elemental of water, Okay, it's the same as Oshun is dealing with the earth or dealing with the vegetable kingdom. All right, the who else? Um, Shango, right, is dealing with fire, right? That Tiferet energy, okay, that flaming energy. You have the metal god, Ogun, right? Deals with metal, deals with iron, deals with earth, right? And so forth and so on. You see these different parallels with all these different deities, right? So I say all that to say that we interact with nature every day, right? Your body is made of nature, right? And not only is it made of stardust, which we're getting into soon, but it's made up of nature, okay, as well. So on his chest, right, he has a scepter, right, which is basically a magic wand, right? The magic wand is you casting your intention, you casting your thoughts, you casting your ideas, you casting your wishes, you casting your visions, right? The magic wand is basically your top three centers, right? The light within you, right? Or your electromagnetic field. You see, he doesn't have it raised, he has it right close to the heart, okay? And if you turn it, he's in his right hand, okay? Meaning that it's coming from the right brain, your imaginative, your holistic, your visual part of your cerebral cortex, right? Or the beat both hemispheres of the brain. And you see right here, there was two crescents with two faces. Okay. One face looks like it's angry. One face looks like it's happy. Okay. So this is again that balance, and they look like two crescent moons as well. All right. He has a square on his chest, which is again close to the heart, which means he's standing on his square. His foundation is in truth. His foundation is in maximizing his inner energy, maximizing his inner power, maximizing what they call Kundalini or serpentine energy. Okay. Leo, fun fact, Leo, the lower level of Leo, see, astrological signs usually have two different sides, especially when they're the zodiac or animals, right? They or animal creatures in the zodiac. They usually have, for instance, Scorpio has the phoenix bird and the scorpion, right? So zodiac of Leo has the serpent and the lion. Some Leos don't even know that, right? That there's a serpent associated with their sign. Okay, so that serpentine energy rising up gives you a firm foundation, a firm square. If you look at Freemasonry, they have the square and the compass, and the square is again just your foundation, just your square, just what you're standing on. Are you standing on truth or you're standing on your opinion, right? And on this chariot, you see the stars on top, okay, showing that he is guided on a higher mission, right? The number seven's right here. That's the number of God, the number of creation, right? The number of this year. And most importantly, and the crown is a star. But we also know the crown, the star, right, is another aspect of fire. Okay. The crown, the star is literally liquid fire, even the star in space. When you're talking about dark energy, right? And you're talking about ether, ether would be the ether is essentially what scientists call dark matter. It's the foundation of all things in existence, right? And then you have dark energy, right? Which is the 70% of the universe, just like you have 70% of water in your body. That is what the stars represent. So the stars are sparkling fire, basically, external fire, right? You're made of stardust too. So you have the same fire within you. Okay. So every nigga is a star. Every nigga is a star. All right. So, and you see the water behind, again, that same Cancerian energy. All right. And the city behind is what you would call the holy city of Jerusalem. This is when you get access to ancestral energy. This is when you start to channel ancestors. This is when you start to hear the voice of God. This is when the synchronicities start to line up. Okay. The more synchronicities you see, the more in tune you are with the spiritual world. The more synchronicities you see, the more you are in tune with the spiritual world. Thank you, I.N.I. I appreciate you rocking with me. All right. I know we're almost at 2 hours. Don't worry. I'm almost done. I got some more to go, but I'm gonna run through it. All right. So let's go into this. Okay. So again, this is the chariot card. All right. love, health, money. We ain't going to do a deep dive in the Chariot card. I just want to show y'all the numerology of 7, upright, what it means, direction, okay? So you're directing yourself, where your willpower, okay? Your control, self-control, okay? Are you connected? Are you really invested emotionally? You got to really ask yourself, are you really emotionally connected to this world? Are you emotionally connected to all the things that happen? To the Black Lives Matter, to the um I hate the white man, I hate the government, right? To the, you know, black men are trash, black women are trash, right? Are you really invested in these things? You have to really ask yourself these. You have to ask yourself the things that you're triggered by. You have to ask yourself, why are you triggered by them? Why? You have to direct yourself. This path is a very entrepreneurial path to spiritual success, right? It's not just you sitting down reading one book, the Bible, and giving it all to Jesus and just hoping for the best, right? This is about you developing psychic abilities that you want. You're being able to communicate with your ancestors, not ancestor worship, ancestor communication, not worship like you worship Jesus or you worship Allah or you worship the Pope or you worship your pastor. Not worship, ancestor veneration for the exchange of communication. Okay, you venerate, you give offerings, you light candles to your ancestors so you could communicate with them. It's very important that you understand that. When the Egyptians were building pyramids and had the sphinxes out there and all these things that you see on European tarot cards that I just showed you, right? All these things you see on these European tarot cards, when they built these things, they built it not to be fly, not just to look good. It was so that they could continue having communications with the ancestors, so that you could communicate with those righteous ancestors, first of all, that want you to win, that want you to have certain powers, that want you to have certain abilities. But guess what? You're not going to be able to get or maximize certain abilities. Even if you're born with certain abilities, you still could have a piece of shit life because of the way you live, because you're not true, because you're not just, because you're not honorable, because you're not a person of character. There's a lot of people on this path that pieces of shit. Straight up, they're pieces of shit. They're no good. And they are able to cast spells and curse and hex and money spell and love spell you and bind you and all that. But they don't seem to win. Even if they have money, they don't seem to win. They still putting filters on their pictures. Can't even be yourself. But you got all this magic. You know how to do all these spells, but your pictures still have fucking filters on them. That's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of root chakra shit. And I'm not saying you can't put a filter on to play around. Don't. But if all your pictures got filters, beloved, you're hiding something. You're hiding yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say on that. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Reversed, lack of control, opposition, lack of direction, lack of self-discipline. This is something that is missing in the esoteric community as a whole. Lack of direction, lack of self-discipline. What is your purpose? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to go to the Crystal City in the Grand Canyon? Oh, tell him, Sister T. Are you trying to go to the Crystal City in the Grand Canyon? Is that your goal? Are you trying to go to space just so you can see if the Earth is flat or round? Is that your goal in this? Or is your goal to be the best motherfucking God, part of God that you are here? To be greater than great for your family, for your friends, right? For your loved ones, right? So you can help them out in the jam, so you could not have money problems. I don't let me talk to y'all for. Let me talk to my people real quick. Hold on. Let me talk to y'all real quick. You know, I haven't worried about money since 2016. Took me a long time to get to that point, fellas and ladies. It didn't just happen, right? I used to have dreams that I was highly successful, living in mansions. And one time I had a dream where I met Missy in an elevator, Missy Elliott in the elevator, and we were chopping it up, and she brought me to her house and shit. We were eating fucking grapes and shit. For real, we was eating grapes in the dream, right? And I remember waking up like, nah, that ain't possible. I'd have these dreams. I'm in a Ferrari. I'd be like, nah, that's not possible. This is how we're socially engineered from children to believe that these things aren't possible. You don't know how many blessings I blocked by doing that. And this is just material things. You know what I'm saying? There's way more, much more powerful and impactful things than just material things, right? I don't know if y'all saw Shazam, right? But in Shazam, damn, I should play the clip, but they probably gonna hit me, so I ain't gonna play the clip. But in Shazam, if y'all saw Shazam, there was a point in Shazam where the villain, bought seven, you could say seven demons, for lack of a better term, right? And he was a master of these seven demons. They were like the seven deadly sins. That's what they were, actually, the seven deadly sins. And he went to his father. His father gave him childhood trauma as a kid, right? So he finally gained this spiritual power, right? These super villain powers with these seven deadly sins that he was able to channel. And he came to his father, and his father was rich. His father, big ass, motherfucking. His father was in some big ass like skyscraper, right? Big company, multimillionaire company, the works, you know. And he was like, once he realized that his son that he gave trauma to, right, had this spiritual power, he was like, look, the father was like, look, I'll give you all the money you want, anything you want, money, land, women, name it. You know what I'm saying? His father's like, I'll give you everything. And he was like, he was looked back, he was like, you think that's power? He's like, you think all the money you have is power? He said, nah, he had the seven deadly sins with him. He was like, this is real power. Then he set the seven deadly sins on his dad, right? For the childhood trauma that he put upon him. So I say all that to say that the real power, if you want money, that's going to be part of this. I haven't worried about money. Even times where I've been down, somebody will come through with a reading. Somebody will come through with something, a check from a job, an old job that they did a class action lawsuit. I think I probably have a record, right? I've had what? Let me be honest. I had 3 checks from jobs before that I've had in the past that there was just a class action lawsuit that happened and a check just came in the mail, right? I have people that if I'm in a jam, I could go to like, yo, let me $1 here and there, right? And I give it back to them, right? If God forbid, I'm homeless, I've treated people to the point where I know I could crash on their couch for a couple of days, right? I ain't never really got to worry about these things, right? I'm not better than you. 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 All right? I'm not better than you. I'm breathing the same air. I'm drinking the same water. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? But one thing, I have a good heart, and I always have. I never let this world turn my heart dark. I've grew up around people. I've seen situations in life turn their heart dark. And if your heart's turned dark, that's okay. You could turn it back light. This is the year to do it, though. But you got to put in the work. You got to do the healing work. You got to go back in my videos where I showed you the Round Enough for Men videos about meditation. You know, those didn't get very many views, probably because they're older men. But guess what? You'll go watch Gandalf or motherfucking Lord of the Rings, right? You'll watch an older man teach Harry Potter, right? You'll watch the older woman teach Sabrina the Teenage Witch or Charmed, right? You'll watch that, but you won't watch it in real life to understand the tips and the tactics. Create a script, create a scenario, and visualize yourself living that scenario. Do it over and over in repetition. Start on a new moon when your body scientifically has the most melanin, not during a full moon. Your body actually has less melanin during the full moon. This is black, white, Spanish weather, right? This is everybody. Okay, if you're highly melanated, of course you have more. But this is everybody in humanity has melanin. So do this on a full moon, a new moon. Start Get your script and repeat night after night. Whatever you're trying to overcome. You eat fucking, you're smoking a pack of Newports a day. Script yourself around 1,000,000 Newports and you saying no. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I don't want it. Ew, it's disgusting. Ooh, I don't like it. During your meditation. After a while, right? By the time you hit that new moon, watch you not want the Newports no more. Watch. I promise you. I've done this with many, many things. I used to be very shy. I used to not be able to talk to women. I used to not have no type of charm. Now I'm charming as hell. I'm charming as hell. Shit. You understand what I'm saying? Any part of your behavior, you're having problems with women. You know what I'm saying? You're having problems with men. You could change that. You could be the most magnetic woman out here to pull any single man. I don't care what you look like. On the outside, it's the inside, what radiates. There's some women that I know who do magic that could put on oils, right? They have the science of herbology. They know how to put on oils and they know how to do that oil magic to charm somebody into looking at them like they look good. Doesn't mean that they're good people, though. Now, imagine if they still had that charming power, but they were good people. They probably would be able to keep a man or vice versa, right? Keep a woman, whatever it is. Again, I'm not sexist. I'm not playing that game with y'all, that gender war game with y'all. Do the work. Head movies. Right, Hollow. Head movies. Once you do that, it'd be like this.
Something just snapped. Something inside of me. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. I didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything.
And then it happened. That's how it happens, right? You start breaking through all these little chambers and different things that you're going through in your life, and you start maximizing your potential. But you have to be able to hit that ethical triangle in order to gain these different type of powers, to gain these different type of abilities. All right. That's for you, Hollow. That's for you. All right. Shout out to my man, Hollow. Hollow's been with me for like damn near since day one. All right. Detachment. Yes, Junkyard Jedi. That's the perfect word. Okay. If you study the Jedis, and I'm going to get back to the presentation because we already at the 2-hour mark. But if you go study, perfect person to say this, right? Y'all lit today. All right. Shout out to the Jedi. Y'all lit today. If you study the Jedis and you study detachment, okay, that's what they teach. All right. When they teach that and that is the opening up of the crown chakra, right? If you go watch The Last Airbender, Avatar, The Last Airbender, the cartoon, when he opens up the crown chakra, he has to basically detach himself from the outcome of whatever's going to happen to his girlfriend. Okay? He has to detach himself from the outcome. If he doesn't, he cannot open his crown chakra. So you have to detach yourself from this material world and from this material existence. You have to realize that whatever happens, you're going to be okay. And you cannot live in fear. And fear is the only devil. Fear is the only devil. Yoda was right. Okay? Meme, hashtag, Yoda was right. When he told Anakin, when he told Luke Skywalker, fear is the only devil. Okay? Once you're able to rise above fear, that root chakra shit, the negative aspect of the root chakra, now you hit that cycle and now you could create. The reason, you know what's stagnating us, especially those of us melanated beings talking to the community, right? Look at hip hop. Hip hop in the 90s was probably the most creative vehicle in the 80s and 90s, one of the most creative art forms on the planet. Even the early 2Gs, right? There was people with new rap styles, new beat styles, right? New Jack Swing. You had horrorcore. You had the gangster rap. You had the De La Souls. You had the Far Side. You had Das Effects with the Bumps Diddy Bumps. You had a plethora, the Outcast, right? You had plethora of different acts with different styles, different beats. No one was like anyone. Everybody was trying to come up with their own shit. It was the most creative time. Now we're stuck on drill music. And drill music is how old? How long ago since Chief Keef been lit? All right. We're stuck on drill music. It hasn't moved. You know why? Because the men are worried about modern women. The men are worried about getting so much money so they could, the young men, how many young men you see, at least I've seen, under 30 that their profile flick, they're flashing money, or they got a big car and on their profile pic and sitting on it, or they're trying to stunt, or they're wearing some type of designer clothes, right? White man designer clothes at that. Not the hood drip. Shout out to Urban X with the hood designer clothes, right? How many of them that you see? So hip hop is a reflection of life, right? Hip hop is a reflection of our environment. So when you see that stagnant, you see that the men are stagnant. There's no creativity anymore. People, even the rappers, they all little this, that, little this. That. OGs that's complaining, right? I'm young. I don't know. Don't let this shit fool you. I'm young. I'm forever young, right? Forever a childlike spirit. I don't care if whatever that age number that y'all talk about. I'm like Prince. I don't subscribe to that birthday shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that age number that y'all, I'm 22 forever. All right, I'm forever 22, not 21. Forever 22. And when you don't have that level of creativity, when you're focused on, there's more men doing celebrity gossip channels on YouTube than there are women. Just look, when you go on YouTube and you look at the celebrity gossip channels, it's more men trying to be Tasha K than there are women trying to be Tasha K. That's how bad it's gotten. That's how bad it's gotten. Because the men are not creating anymore. They're not building things. They're just trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're trying to be one of them. They're trying to be like their favorite rapper. They're trying to be like their favorite content creator or social media influencer on YouTube. But they're being clones, right? And everyone is unique. Like people are talking about, the conspiracy theorists, they talk about, oh, this person's a clone. Gucci Mane's a clone. This person's a clone. That person's a clone. That may be true. But guess what? Some of you niggas are too. Some of you niggas are too. Some of you niggas are too. You're clones of somebody else that you've seen on YouTube. You're clones of somebody that you've seen on TV. You're clones on somebody that you've seen on social media. So while y'all worried about which celebrity was caught in jail or which celebrity was cloned from somebody and the gematria, where literally you could take gematria and do what the fuck you want with it, besides the Hebrew, right? I respect the Hebrew gematria, but all them other gematria streams that people be bouncing and playing with, I'm not going to call any names, but I'm talking about one nigga, really. All these niggas that when a celebrity dies and they automatically got the gematria to show you how the white man killed them, but they don't got no solutions for anything else in life, right? But they know the gematria killed this white man. You got to be careful with who you're following. When the white celebrities die, they don't got no celebrity. They don't got no gematria for the white celebrities though. None whatsoever. Be careful who you're following. Be careful who you're following. Do your own research. Ask somebody that is in the know a little more. Does this make sense that every time a black celebrity dies, they're saying that it's the secret societies and the Illuminati, and the gematria just happens to match up every time? There's English gematria, there's Hebrew gematria, there's simple gematria. There's a lot of different strands. Hebrew gematria you could fuck with. The rest of them, be careful. Be careful who you're following in 2023. Like Junkyard Jedi says, detachment. Detachment. Fuck the secret societies. We are in the age of information. Me, Adika, Mike Bell, told you. Mike Bell's a master mason. He ain't lie to y'all on here, okay? He told y'all he's a master mason. Ain't no secrets. Ain't no secrets. Maybe some of the, like he said, some of the techniques and stuff, but ain't no secrets as far as information. But they don't have to hide it because y'all so busy worried about clones and the aliens and the motherfucking AI. Y'all worried about everything else except good old heart, good old heart, good old earth. The theater of your mind, which is earth, is in that word theater. Creating the theater in your mind of the things that you want to manifest. But first, you have to manifest the character of who you really want to be. Y'all saw my journey. I was nervous when I first came to this YouTube. Do I sound nervous now? It takes work, though. It took a lot of scripting. It took a lot of hardship. It took a lot of pain for me to get to the point where
You don't know the power of the dark side.
it takes pain. It takes sacrifice. It takes work. It takes you falling on your face. It might take you being homeless. It might take you losing your job. It might take you losing your home. It might take you losing your relationship, your boo. You might be lonely. But if you are able to use the heart, which has more neurons, your heart, there's more neurons go from your heart to your brain than your brain to your heart. This is why all this AI shit, right? You need to stop worrying about the AI and worry about the I.N.I. The artificial intelligence is not as deep as the artificial intelligence. How many filters y'all see out here? How many people are contouring their face and editing their body and photoshopping their pictures to look good on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all these different things, right? How many people are faking? How many people are using AI pictures now to present themselves? They don't even want to use their real face. And you're telling me you're scared of AI? You're already artificial intelligence, nigga. You're already artificial intelligence. You're already artificial. What are you talking about? Let's continue going before I get mad. Fuck out of here. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Artificial intelligence. Man, do you see what these niggas is doing in their profile pictures? Do you see the fake lives these niggas is living on Instagram? And you really want to tell me artificial intelligence is the problem? No, we will not have it. We don't believe you. We need more people. Okay, so lack of control, opposition, lack of direction, self-discipline. Stop joining cliques and organizations just because you want to be down. Vet these people. Matter of fact, join them. Matter of fact, let me not tell you not to join them. Join them. Join them so that you can learn that you are the master. Show enough. Join them so that you could go through your show enough experience, right? And then learn that, realize you have the glow, Bruce Leroy. Join them. Join them. Join all of them. I joined them. So I can't tell you what to do on your journey. I joined a couple of them. Join them. And then eventually you learn that you have the glow. Bruce Leroy, show enough. You understand? But eventually it's all going to come back to you. Now, can you find people of like mind? Absolutely. I have through the internet. I have through people that I work with, right? Cool dudes. I don't talk to them about metaphysics. We're not talking about the Chariot tarot card and things like that. But they're cool, good guys. You know what I'm saying? I have a selection of women that I talk to. Cool, good, smart women, you know? Family members, cool, good, smart family members out of those that I have. You understand? You want to have but this took me and it takes me to be a better person. I have to control, I have to have self-discipline. I can't just be in my hermit shell. I used to be in my hermit shell, never reach out to nobody. Oh, I hate the world. That was my thing. I hate humans. I hate the world. Humans don't understand me. No. I have to figure out how to make them understand me, how to relate to them. Okay? That's water. That's flow states. I'm creating flow states in my theater, again, that heart energy in the theater of my mind to put here on the earth, which is another anagram for heart. The Chariot. We'll go through this real quick. Observing, confidence, motion, new beginning, power, drive, will, rivalry. Okay, when you go through a video game, don't see that rivalry and get scared. When you go through a video game, you're gonna have opposition. Okay, you're gonna go through the first level. The opposition is gonna be weak. Okay, you're gonna be able to chop their heads off easy. But guess what? At the end of that first level, there's gonna be a boss. Those of you who played video games, you know there's gonna be a boss. Right? You defeat that boss, go to the next level, same thing. It's gonna be a boss up and up. Even let's use Mario Brothers, right? You continue to go levels and levels when you're playing Super Mario Brothers until you meet King Koopa. King Koopa is the final boss. When you defeat King Koopa, you capture the princess. Okay, we're gonna get into that princess soon. That energy as well. So will. Okay, what is willpower? Willpower is not you reading a bunch of books and saying, "I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna power through." No, no. Willpower is your ability to ignore shit. Willpower is your ability for me to see these two hyenas beefing in front of my window and not get involved and not say nothing, not even laugh or crack a joke. Just watch. Willpower is the ability to see the gender war and not get involved. You don't think I have feelings? I've been hurt by women. I have feelings. I have feelings. I have a heart. I've been touch with my emotions. I'm an empath, right? But I'm not going to get involved with your gender war and spilling like a little hoe. As a man with balls, I'm going to spill like a little hoe on the internet and talk about all my issues with women. No, I'm going to make myself better for women. I'm going to make myself the best version of myself so I'm more attractive. I'm going to hold in until I get a wife or a steady girlfriend. I'm going to hold in my chi and maximize and continue. Do you know when you practice semen retention, you're not practicing semen retention just to willy-nilly. You're practicing semen retention for this chariot energy that's right here, right? You're practicing it so that chi will make you more magnetic, okay? Not to brag, I ain't the cutest dude, but my inbox is pretty lit, okay? There's some baddies here and there, all right? And I'm taking my time, but I'm just saying, and I'm not. I'm on my marathon right now, but I'm saying that to say you could do it too. I'm no different than y'all. Some of y'all niggas is handsome, more cuter than me, more money, all that. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for any man to be here complaining, but you have to become a man. You have to have this chariot energy, okay? Self-discipline, okay? Ambition, motivation, traveling, publicity, forcefulness, victory, facing the problems. Facing the problems. How many of you men are facing your problems with women? Okay. How many of you men are going and scripting different situations from the girl that hurt you and healing that problem? If you need talk therapy, do it. If you need to talk to someone, do it. But don't talk to your girl, bro. She ain't your therapist. She's not there to heal you. Don't put all that problems on your girl. You get some homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Or go into meditation and take it to your ancestors. They'll help you. Do a ritual where you connect with your ancestors. Light some candles for them. Give them some offerings. Connect with them. And again, if you don't have an altar, you have an altar here. If you don't have the space for an altar externally, you have the space for an altar here. You're breathing, right? So you can meditate. I don't want to hear your excuses in 2023. Facing the problems. You women too. Face the problems. You don't like men. Men ain't shit. I've been through all this with men. Okay, what is it about me? Same thing with men. What is it about me? Point the finger back at you. The same fingers you're pointing at, right? When they say you pointing one finger at them, there's three pointing back at you. Okay? So when you point the finger, remember, you have to also hold yourself accountable. What is it that I did? What is it that I'm doing? Why don't they want to talk to me or fuck with me? You understand? Patience, preparing for action and move, being at the right course, okay? But also, okay, this is the negatives. Lust for power, being overloaded, impatience. A lot of y'all want magical shit. Microwavable, all right? Y'all got microwaves. Y'all could stream whatever you want at any time you want, right? This society's different from when I grew up as a little pup, right? So you think that that's the way everything is. Spiritual growth ain't like that. You still got to go from a baby to a toddler to a teenager, actually baby, toddler, preteen, teenager, young adult, right? You still got to go through the chambers, and it takes time. It's the same thing with spiritual work. You had to, in order to get this knowledge back in the day, you had to be in your 40s. This is why they don't get. This is why presidents aren't young. Presidents have to be over 40 something. I believe it's 44. They have to be over a certain age and married, because it shows that you have responsibility. You're able to manage a family first and foremost, so you're able to manage the family, which would be the nation. And also, it shows that you have wisdom and experience. This is not to say that you have to be in your 40s, because these young boys on TikTok, they doing their thing. You know, these young boys on Instagram, they doing their thing, right? But even them, I could see like the little dense, but they'll get it, you know, because they're sincere. You know, I see the sincerity in a lot of them, and I love it. The future is in good hands. But you got to be sincere. You understand? And I don't know it all. I can't say I know it all. Shit. But I want them to put me onto some things. You know what I'm saying? But I damn sure ain't going to believe in them fucking aliens. Not to say I believe or don't believe, right? There is intelligent life out there, but are they going to save me or destroy me? No, I don't. Nothing's going to save you but you. All right? Ain't no Nibiru coming down to fucking save you. And hold up. Let me say this real quick. I'm going to get back into it. I promise. All you people that think that, you know, you're from Planet Risk, and you're from, you know, the Andromeda galaxy, and, you know, you're from the star system Z, and the sun is fucking Nemesis, and there's 3 suns, but it's not hotter. It's not, you know, there's 3 suns, but ain't nobody cooking yet, right? You know how hot a sun is? But anyway, there's 2 or 3 suns here on Earth, right? That's what they took. That's what the conscious. I heard it from my own ears. People saying that, right? You think you're from Planet Z, right? For Galaxy Z. Okay. So the fuck what?
We do not care.
We don't care what planet you're from, my nigga. We don't care what galaxy you're from, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. And nobody really gives a fuck, except people that are enamored from coming from church and believing in fucking Jesus and heaven and the cherubim and all. And when God comes from the heavens and comes to deliver us from the dens of the devil, that's what niggas are still on. They're bringing this church shit into personal spiritual development, into esoteric knowledge. You're not from fucking Planet Risk. As I said in my man Travis, shout out to Travis Major. So I said in Travis chat, you're not from Planet Risk. You're Tasha from Oakland. Jaheim, you're not Jaheim from Nibiru. You're Jaheim from Jersey City, New Jersey. Oh man, niggas want to be superheroes and Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy so bad it is disturbing. No wonder the community is the way it is. No wonder, because everybody's practicing fucking escapism. Everybody's practicing escapism, man. And the fact is, melanated people run the world. See, I'm still unapologetically black, as they say. But I could be unapologetically black and still love everyone, right? I can still do that and love everyone of every race, culture, and creed. I don't have to see them as my enemy or my op when I know I run the world. When you know you run the world, then everyone in the world works for you and works for your benefit. Understand that perspective, right? That's having a chariot perspective. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That's having a chariot perspective. All right, we already been there. So I'll finish this off. All right, lust for power. Okay, being overloaded, impatience, too much force. Okay, overly aggressive. We see that all day. You know, what you looking at? What you look? What, nigga? Somebody got sass. You know, you disagree with them. You can't even disagree nowadays. You can't disagree with somebody. You know, it's you disagree. You have a different perspective. They want to yell. They want to raise their voice. They want to start screaming at you for your different perspective. Who the fuck do you think you are to disagree? To have your own unique idea? Can we just agree to disagree? Can it be peaceful? Do you have to scream me down to make your point? That's not real power, my nigga. That's the animal in you. Untamed. That's the untamed animal in you, the untamed lion, the untamed fire in you. Used the wrong way. You're driving your chariot the wrong way. You're moving your chariot when it doesn't need to be moved. Okay. You're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Jew, you're Hebrew Israelite, whatever. Okay. I don't see it from your perspective, but I don't hate you either. You took the Jabbington. I don't see it from your perspective, but I respect you from having your perspective for taking the Jabbington. What's wrong with that? That's peace, my brother. That is the goal of this. To not be stressed out, to not raise your blood pressure by yelling and arguing. Your mama's Christian, your papa's Christian, your auntie, your cousin. Your mama done prayed for you all your life. Now you come in, you read a couple of books, and now you saying Hotep and peace and grand rising, and you want to shit on your mom. You want to shit on your dad. You want to shit on your auntie. You want to shit on grandma. You want to show her the light. She been praying for you all your life. And you're here, successful, or at least alive. And now you read a couple of books, you heard a couple of YouTube videos, and now you want to call her all type of ignoramuses and all that. Who are you? Who are you to do that? Let them be. Let people disagree. Control your emotions. Okay? This is when you are on a chariot, and it's going to take y'all some time, but again, if you do the work, you'll get there. I've given you techniques throughout this whole lecture, all right? Pick up what I'm putting down. And we'll go into this real quick, so I'm not going to dive deep. So it's the Chariot. Again, this is a 7 card. This is a 7 year, so this is what we're working on developing. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen this year, right? A lot of changes, a lot of ups and downs. You got to develop this Chariot now. Don't wait. Don't start doing this work when the shit happens. Start tonight, okay? After this video, start tonight. Start doing the meditation tonight. The Chariot verse is a sign that things may be moving too fast. There's a lack of clarity on your current path. Take a serious look at what you want to do and understand why you want to do it. Get a real purpose. All right. Figure out your purpose. You already know your purpose. I do not believe there's no one that doesn't know why they're here. You know what you love. You know what you're really into. You know what you would do if there was no money involved. Harnessing and honing on that. It doesn't have to be one thing. So you guys know I like doing music. I'm going to do some more music tomorrow, but I'm sitting here doing a YouTube video as well, dropping the hell of science. Okay. So it doesn't have to be one thing, but at least have some things going. A woman will respect you if you have, for the men, a woman will respect you if you have more going on than just your job, than just your career. They want to see that. That separates you from every man out there. The same thing with you women. Okay. A man wants to see that you have an idea more than just contouring your face and makeup and twerking and looking good on the gram. I see women all the time. Sometimes I'll get inboxes and I'll look on their gram and all I see is pictures. First of all, if you take a selfie every day, I already know you're gonna be a headache because you want attention. All you want is attention, right? But if I see you on the gram and I see you dropping knowledge or you got a gem here and there, you're more appealing and you look good. You won. You won. You won. You know what I'm saying? And you take care of yourself, and you look like you make a nice, smoothie. You could cook. You could take care of your man. You got a nice demeanor about you. You got some wisdom. You're doing in your videos, and you look good. Shit, you don't even have to be super attractive. Your energy alone will make you attractive. It'll attract a man that is into that. I don't care your size. Look at 600-pound life. All them girls got men. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to be healthy, obviously, but move your chariot. Okay? Sit, slow down, rein your mind and heart in. Take a closer look at where you are headed. Does it make sense for you to get into or continue? Examine your relationships, all right? If not, what are your options? Write these things down, okay? Screenshot this. This is the theme of the year. Most people's chariots are reversed, okay? I got some reversals in my chariot, all right? I screenshot this shit, okay? So screenshot this, write things down, all right? Don't ever take away, the pen is mightier than the sword for a reason, all right? Does it make sense for you to get into or continue? Not what are your options? If yes, what clarity do you need to achieve the outcome you want? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You're the charioteer of your race. Get very clear on your end game. Make informed decisions. Stay in control and win your race with integrity, grace, and honor. And then you could be like,
Then something just snapped. Something inside of me. I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about being better than Kakarot. I didn't care about being a Super Saiyan. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care about anything. And then it happened.
all right, that's the goal. Oh shit, I ain't scared of strong. My bad. I shared the wrong tab. My bad, y'all. But screenshot this, go back to what I said, and you'll get it. All right. I ain't gonna repeat it for time's sake. Hold on, let me give y'all a second to screenshot it. My bad. Yeah, I was going into it. Hold up. All right, let me give y'all a second. Screenshot that, write it down. Okay, take a look at it. Boom. And write down the answers to these questions. You know what I'm saying? Do that tonight. It's still nighttime, so it's still Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th ain't over until the sun comes up. All right? So you still have time to go in and do your work. Okay? Don't take this time for granted. And even up until the weekend, that energy being, as I showed you earlier, with those solar flares about to hit, and the solar flare energy that's already here from the flares that popped off on the 7th and the 9th and the 10th, actually, that's still here. You want to take advantage of that energy. All right, let's continue. So the first commandment, it said, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and rule over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the sky and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Command given to Adam, or Atom, or for those into Gnosticism, Adam Cadman, right? Our head, right? Those of you into the Yoruba are Ori, right? And dominion mandate is twofold: fill and subdue, populate and steward. Okay, so all the demons, the angels, the jinn, the Yaldabaoth, the archons, right? The aliens, all the shit. Well, maybe not the aliens, right? If they're advanced creatures, they might be over you, right? But everything else, right, that you can't see in the mystic world and that you see in your dreams and haunt you, you have the ability to control. You have free will. You have the ability to dominate the earth. It is your mandate, okay? It's your mandate. Genes of Isis, okay? The genes of Isis. Isis is another word for Osset. Osset is another word for Yemaya. Yemaya, Isis, is another word for water, okay? The same Cancerian energy, okay? That same watery and sacral energy is in this particular statement as well. Okay. Genesis is the gene of Isis. It's the first. Okay. Actually, the Jewish name for the word Genesis is actually the book of Bereshit. I'm not making that up. That's what it's called, the book of Bereshit. All right. Let's continue. So you got to have strength, right, for your chariot. Remember earlier we were going into the number 8. Those of you who've been rocking this whole time, all right, the number 8, and the 8 is the strength card. All right, when you look at the strength card, what do you see? And this is a quick way to understand how to use the tarot effectively. Is you don't need to know every single idea. You just need to know what they represent and be able to look at pictures and understand signs and symbols. All right. She has flowers all over her. Flowers represent what? Fertility. Flowers grow in the spring, right? Flowers grow when there's light, when there's optimum conditions. Okay. She has flowers on her head. She has flowers on her gut. And she has flowers on her arms. The flowers on her arm, right? One of them is petting the top of the actual lion. If you look at her left arm, okay, there's flowers all over it where she's touching the top of the lion. All right, I showed you the lions on the or the sphinxes, right, on the chariot card. Okay, um, remember Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points, adds up to 8. We are in 8 years of record heat. Okay, the 40 free throws, 40 attempts, record number 8. Okay, so this is also an 8, the infinity symbol, right? So you need strength. The woman in the tarot deck, any type you see the woman, it's always the inner self. It's always that moonlight that we're talking about, that Cancerian light, right? That Yesod energy, that Yemaya energy, again, Isis energy, that Osset energy, that watery moon. The moon pulls the tide, right? The moon pulls the water from your body. The moon pulls the tide up. So this also represents that energy. And the white, of course, represents that purity, okay? As they said when the movie Malcolm X, when Elijah Muhammad was talking to Malcolm, and he said, there's 2 glasses of water, right? One glass of water is clean, the other glass of water is dirty. People are going to want to drink the clear water, okay? So this is about your self purification, doing all the work that we told you earlier about the chariot card, all right? Of course, there's a stream of water right here, right? As you see, you're able to tame the beast within when you have true strength. You're able to manage, right? Look at how she's courageous. She's able to hold the jaws open of the lion. Okay. She could get her fucking hand bit off, right? She's holding the jaw open. The animal is tamed, right? And she's able to build and destroy, which is another sign of infinity, right? Everything is constantly being built. Everything is being destroyed. Babies die. People die. I'm sorry. People die. Babies are being born. People die. Babies are being born. It happens every day. It's happening right now as we speak. That's the cycle of life, as they say in a Lion King. Okay. So this is really the sentiment of that Lion King energy as well. Mastering that beast within, right? Using your father's, right, your third eye or your frontal lobe or your critical thinking energy to order to discipline yourself, master. This is what opening the pineal gland is all about. It's not about seeing visions of aliens on planet Risk. It's not about seeing visions of aliens of the Andromedians. Fuck is that good for? How does that help you become a better person? How does that help you manage your anxiety and depression? Right? How does that help you what? Find out what conspiracy theory that they put gay hormones in Kentucky Fried Chicken or some shit? Like that's what you want your third eye open for, so you can find out that the government is putting fluoride in the water and where they putting it at. Like that's what you want it for, so you could do nothing the fuck about it because you have no strength, right? No, there's real strength is inner strength. It has nothing to do with intellect. All right, this is what you call direct downloads. Okay, this is what you call uploads and downloads. Okay, this is uploads. You see the little water right here, right, flowing towards the dress, right? Uploads, downloads from infinity. Okay, crown chakra open, chakra energy open. Okay, same thing the chariot represented. All right, just a different form. So strength, balance, power. Okay, Mind over matter. Okay. Again, you got to learn the willpower is about ignoring shit. You want to smoke a cigarette. Okay. You know that them shits is bad for you. You got lung issues. You can't breathe. You coughing up black, but you have this addiction. You have to go into your meditation. I'm using cigarettes just as an example, right? I'm not judging whatever you do. You have go into meditation. You see yourself thinking it's disgusting, thinking it's not right, thinking it's not what you want to do. Now you may go to where you smoke one a day, but it's still better than smoking a pack, right? You still were chopping it down severely. So 9 out of 10, you're not going to catch at least cancer if you're doing it 20, smoking 20 a day, right? Or you go down to none, right? Whatever. Like I said, I stopped smoking weed. I told y'all I'm very vulnerable with my shit. I stopped smoking weed. I did my meditation. I was at a weed fest. I seen everybody smoking weed. I said, no, thank you, no, thank you. But Spirit also gave me a time period when I can go back to smoking weed. But 9 out of 10, I'm not going to smoke weed every day like I was before, right? That's not where I'm at right now. I like the clarity of mind that I have. I like the freedom of expression that I have. I like that I don't have any brain fog right now when I'm communicating. I'm like when ideas and thoughts are able to come to my mind the way I want them to. I like the fact that when I do readings with people now, I'm channeling ancestors 90% of the time, right? I'm able to hear the voices of my ancestors telling me just like it was in 2017. But now it's stronger because I am becoming this clearer vessel, right? But I have a time period when Spirit was like, yo, you could go back at this time period if you want and still indulge a little by little, but it's not going to be like before. You understand? So that's discipline, mind over matter. That's strength of character. Okay. Who are you? Are you a person that keeps your word? Are you a person that does what you say you're going to do? Are you a person that pursues your purpose, right? Are you a person that somebody could rely on, depend on, right? Are you a person that is flaky, is full of shit, right? What is your inner strength? Are you scared of everything, right? You see a fucking Tesla robot and your whole body is ready to turn into putty. All right. And it's sad because honestly, I understand women who do that, right? Because women are supposed to, they're not really supposed to, but all women aren't having that warrior stock. They're receivers, right? They're receptive to shit. But the men that are so bitch ass nowadays, pardon my French, like where's the strength of your character? Where's your courage? Where's the fact that you feel like you're going to win and you feel like nobody can stop you? And I understand the food is genetically engineered. I know you've been listening to 10 to 12 years of Drake, right? Oh, boy. Forgive me. I know you've been listening to 10 years of Drake and emo music. I still see the sad. What my man said. I still see the shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. That I can't replace you. Well, it's said and done. You know you were the one. All this emo ass music, right? I know you've been socially engineered. I understand, but it's a 7 year. Shit's gonna happen. We need men with balls, testosterone, that got courage, that got heart, and it starts within. I don't care how much Celine and motherfucking Gucci and Versace shoes and your car and your money. None of that shit matters. After homegirl balked on that little kid that I talked about earlier, and that other girl hopped out the car, was like, "What? Let's get it in." And her bitch ass hopped back in the car like a little coward she was. Right? That showed me her inner strength. That showed me she wasn't ready for the lion. She didn't really have no lion in her. Her lion was just her mouth, but she wasn't ready to tame no real lion. That's strength of character. Let's go. Y'all already know what's happened with this, right? Shout out to Damar Hamlin. I keep calling him Darn Ham for some reason. Damar Hamlin for getting himself back. I just want to show you the colors real quick, right? The sacral colors, the orange, right? Hitting him dead in the heart, right? This is the theme for this year. This happened early in the year, January 7th. Okay? January 7th. Let's look at Homeboy's number. 8 plus 5 is what? 13. Okay, we're going to talk about this number soon as well. 13. He hit him in the heart. Okay. Now we already know about the Jabberwocky, blah 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 blah. All right, we ain't talking about that right here, right? He had the number 3, which is the Trinity, right? The Trinity mind, heart, gut. Okay, the three brains: mind, heart, gut. Three or third eye, right? We could combine all of that, right? But this is that sacral energy that got to get into your heart. The sacral chakra that deals with your creativity, that deals with your sexuality, that deals with what you are lusting for. Okay. The strength card that we just discussed also, um, the strength card also has its correspondence with lust. Okay. It also has its correspondence with lust. It's called the lust card, to be exact. Okay. So strength is a lust. What are you devoted to? What are you lust? Are you lusting to be the best version of yourself? Or you just want to be a smart nigga on the internet and impress your friends with how many conspiracies you know and what you know the white man is going to do next? Or the powers that be are going to do next. You want to impress your little friends at the water cooler in your neighborhood and you're the smartest guy, you're the most egotistical. You got to heal, my nigga. You got to heal. You're valuable. You are smart. You are beautiful. You are important. All right, that's from the help. So this is a representative Thou that got to hit your heart. That energy has to hit your heart, right? The stripes, that spiraling energy, or that tiger type of energy, tiger style, right? This color's red, white, and blue. People think it's just America, but this is more of an Osirian color, or what they call Osiris. Let's show and prove, shall we? So this is Osir or Osiris, okay? Your nature is an unconquerable peace. You see black, red, and white, okay? America is a thief. You guys know that, all right? America steals everything, all right? Including the colors of our ancestors. Therefore, nothing or no one in the world can be against you. All appearances come to you to promote your reclamation of peace, that you may in turn acquire wisdom and spiritual power. Wisdom, the voice in your head, Shokma, Tahuti. Spiritual power, Bina, Sekert, dark energy, the power of.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
And that is just the power that is within you. All right. Let's continue real quick. So I'm not going to read all of this. Screenshot it. Do what thou wilt. Do your homework. Wax on, wax off, Dan. Wax on, wax off, Danielson. All right. I've already been here longer than I should. All right. So we got that. We did this. Okay. So again, tapping into your Asor on the tree of life. Asor would be on the Kemetic tree of life. Asor would be your Kether or your Kether or your Ether, right? The crown. Okay. So this is that sacral energy going into your crown. A quick Google search will show you that the sacral chakra is this particular color of orange. All right. So what happened to start the year? This is what happened. French Montana dropped an album called Coke Boy 6. Okay. 2022 was the 6th year. Okay. And this is the quickening. You're going to see a lot of this happening during this year with a lot of these so-called thug gangster rappers doing these type of things, right? And they're going to be accounted. They're going to be accounted for, right? They're going to be accountable. A lot of people are going to die, unfortunately, this year, right? A lot of people who took that hokey pokey, it's already happening. You've already seen it in the news. I'm not going to go into each individual, right? You've seen the football players, you've seen the newscasters, right? You've seen this is all over social media, right? And a lot of healthy people are going to be unhealthy, right? A lot of people that are scammering are going to be in the hospital. Those that can be redeemed, those that can't, they're going to suffer the consequences, right? And fall. There's going to be a lot of people unalived this year, unfortunately, right? It just is what it is. It's a God year. It's a 7-year, and it's a year of the chariot. It's a year of transformation. If you're not riding your chariot the way that I've detailed it, right, you're going to have to deal with the strength of God itself, right? So the police are blaming him. I don't know. I think French Montana's, took that oath, as they say. So he did not get punished for this, but they already blaming him. All right, this was on the 9th. Who knows what's going to turn out? But 10 people got shot, when he dropped Coke Boy 6. That shit is over. The gangster rap, all that drug shit, all that shit is over. These guys are gonna, more and more of them gonna get shot and die. Unfortunately, sad to say, because we need to bring in new music. We need to bring in music that's gonna uplift and it's gonna change everything. All right, let's keep it moving. Big Scar, okay. Rest in peace to Big Scar. All right, Big Scar, Memphis rapper. All right, I think I'm gonna do something on Memphis. I'm cooking up something for Memphis, but I think there's still a couple of more pieces to drop in that Memphis story, but I got the slides already where I started the foundation. But spirits like there's more pieces. So, but look out for my Memphis resurrection. My Memphis resurrection video is going to be coming as soon as those pieces drop. It's not going to take long for them to drop. You'll see in the media. But anyway, Big Scar, right? So, what is your drama? Your drama, your childhood issues, right? Is it not a big scar? Oh snap! Eileen said you pulled strength today. That's what's up. Yeah, see, when you get those type of synchronicities, like she pulling strength, right? That's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. All right, it's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. Oh, Vegeta said BBW life, my man. Oh, good. Not that big though. I ain't mad at you, Hollow. I ain't mad. I've had a couple of my day myself. I ain't mad at you. All right. So let me go back. I just want to see what y'all was saying real quick. So a big scar, right? That's trauma. That's childhood trauma. It's childhood issues, right? This is a sign and symbol. Okay. He was born on April 7th. He was born on the 7th. Again, a 7 year, right? Signs and symbols. He died 12/22/2022. Let's do the math. 12. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Plus 2 is 13. Okay. 13 is the magic number. All right. 13 is the number of the sun being you, being your inner light. Again, that moonlight, that chariot light, and the 12 zodiac signs. You managing your inner flame. Okay. You managing your external light, which will represent the Leo energy or that fire energy that is shown in the strength card. This is how you eliminate those big scars. Okay. You have to tap into your light. This year, you have to start tapping into these nature based zodiacs, the different changes of the season, the different changing of the zodiacs, because that is you being at one with nature. Our ancestors did it, right? Our ancestors did it. Just because Bobby may have said it in a different way doesn't mean, again, I'm just interpreting what I gave you two interpretations, what I think Bobby Hemmett would have said, or what he may have said. He may have just said, fuck the zodiac, or he may have been saying, I'm in the middle, meaning that I'm the sun in the middle of the zodiac, meaning that I'm observing the zodiac wheel. But you got to be in tune with nature. Like all of magic is dealing with natural spirits. The hoodoo is dealing with the vegetable kingdom, the mineral kingdom, right, and the animal kingdom. And voodoo is dealing with the astral kingdom, the ancestrals, right? The ancestrals, the Orisha or the Netaru, right? The different gods and deities, right? So you got to be dealing with nature in order to be in tune and really be following this seriously. So you got to heal these big scars, man. These big childhood trauma scars. You got to face them to ride on your chariot, to develop inner strength. You got to be able to hold that line and manage your emotions and have detachment to this material world. Okay. It's going to take work. Okay. So we saw the number 13. Okay. Number 13. And so today is Friday the 13th, right? Symbolic meaning of 13. The meanings that we associate with 13 being unlucky generally come from the symbolic and mystical associations that have come down from the ancient world. In the major arcana of the tarot, the 13 card is called Death or Reaper, depending on which death you use. The correct way, this is often misunderstood as being a highly negative card. The correct way to read the Death card in the tarot as a process of transformation and rebirth. When death appears in a tarot reading, it influences the spread by making all the surrounding cards refer into a transformation process that the questioner has been undergoing, perhaps without being conscious of it. So with Big Scar, right? With Big Scar dying, right? Literally with the number 13, December of 2022, right? It's showing you that that depth of that type of energy, right? Those scars, you gotta kill them. You know what I'm saying? Go into your visions with whatever childhood trauma and change it with whoever it was. If you gotta fight, fight in the astral, fight in the meditative world. Take out your swords, take out your guns. You could be anything in your you could be anything. You gotta face it though. You can't run from who you are. You can't run from your trauma. You can't run from where you've been. You can't run from your past. It is part of who you are. Let's continue going. 13th in Freemasonry. Do I want to talk about this? The original flag and the seal that appears on a dollar bill both displayed 13 stars in the celebration. So 13 was a number of good fortune. I broke that down. 3 and 4 also which contribute to highly powerful material outcomes. The square has 4 corners, which you've seen on the Chariot card that we talked about earlier. Number 13 is symbolic of the individual, while number 3 symbolizes the power of unbridled creativity. Okay, the sacral chakra is creativity all day. Okay, you need energy in order to create. You need energy in order to think of ideas. Okay, that are creative, or else we're going to be stuck in drill music for the next 10 years. Nobody's going to create anything new as long as they're worried about being high value men. Let's see what else. Do I have anything else? All right, that's all for 13. So death tarot card, again, transformation, death, depression, divorce, endings, life-changing events, sadness. Positives, there's positives to the death card, okay? Blessings in disguise, positive endings, changes made for the better, new starts. That's what this 13 number is about, okay? That's why you're seeing it resonate in all these different things. Divorce and breakups, periods of depression, these are the negatives, unwelcome changes, death of a relative or loved one, inevitable endings. Okay, doesn't mean you're gonna die. It means that if you get this card or you see this card, it just means that things are gonna change. All right, and upright actually is a good thing. Okay, to get a death pull. Let's go into this. This is Mel. We're gonna talk about tonight. My co-host, you'll see her Sunday when we talk about the moon in Gemini. All right, hold up, Mel. Hold up, Mel. Hold up. Hold up, Mel. Give me a second. Hold up, y'all.
Retrograde, your phone may have been dry, your inbox may have been dry. Now you may find that that ramps up. And with the moon in Libra, this is going to be a time where you really want to socialize, you really want to hang out, you really want to relate to people. Okay. And that desire to relate to people is going to be pretty potent with Mars direct in Gemini. All right. So by all means, get out, hang out with people. But keep in mind, Mars and Gemini, fighting words. So be careful of what you say. Be careful of how you interpret things or receive things because people are going to be ready to pop off at a moment.
Which I've seen, so she's right. People have been popping off this week. I talked about that in my intro.
Notice, all right. But even if there is conflict, right? Moon in Libra is all about smoothing things
Right.
over to establish.
We're trying to get to Friday, man.
All right, so
Okay. Hold
Sun
up.
sextile Neptune, it really allows you to be aware of your intuition. It's great for your imagination. All right, so on Friday we have the Sun in Capricorn at 23 degrees Capricorn, and it's going to be sextile to Neptune, which is at 23
Speed up
degrees
down a little.
Pisces. All right, so Sun sextile Neptune, it really allows you to be aware of your intuition. It's great for your imagination. It heightens your sensitivity and your creativity. But what I like about it is that the sun shines brightly, right? So it can't help but illuminate things. It sort of it uncovers the truth, it shows the truth, and it allows you to see yourself, most importantly, in your full essence, right? And so Sun sextile Neptune really just allows you to tap into your sensitive side. It allows you to tap into your soul, to be honest. And so this is going to be a time of heightened intuition. It's going to be a time of imagination, which means that it's also going to be a really good time for manifesting, because being cognizant of your imagination and really being tapped into that is the first step to manifesting. So I would say that on Friday, it's a great day that you want to imagine. So you want to journal, you want to script, you want to visualize, do all of those things, because I feel like you're going to be in the right frame of mind in order to foster that manifestation. This is also going to be a time of increased psychic awareness and just awareness of yourself,
Tell him again,
your
Mel.
imagination, and being tapped into that is the first step to manifesting. So I would say that on Friday, it's a great day that you want to imagine. So you
Wait, what she said? She said Friday, which is still today. Again, the sun ain't rise wherever you are. The sun not rise, and you're still able to hear the sound of my voice. Even if you watch this on a replay tomorrow, you can still tap into this energy. Okay, let's tap in.
journal, you want to script, you want to visualize, do all of those things, because I feel like you're going to be in the right frame of mind in order to foster that manifestation. This is also going to be a time of increased psychic awareness and just awareness of yourself, but from a very subconscious, from a very soul level. Okay. It's a beautiful transit in terms of developing your spirituality, in terms of developing your psychic abilities. Things like telepathy are going to be heightened. All of those things are always fair game when we're talking about Neptune. This is also going to be a time where you feel a boost in self confidence and a boost in self satisfaction by tapping into your spiritual side and by also tapping into your altruistic side. So it's a great time to engage in charity work. It's a great time to volunteer. Those will make you feel good about yourself. Okay. The dream state is going to be very, very vivid. So you're going to want to keep a dream journal, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be experiencing vivid dreams. Okay. And things like religion, mystical work, the occult, astrology, it would definitely thrive under this transit. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about a sextile, and the sextile is all about opportunity. So all of this energy is going to be available to you. It's up to you whether you want to use it or not. And like I said, I think the best use of the energy of this transit is manifesting. So it would be meditating, it would be visualizing, scripting, journaling, whatever method you like to use for manifestation.
Now, I'm not the only one saying this. Okay, this is Mel. She's an astrologer, way better at the astrology game than I am. Right? I have no problem saying that. Right? But this is Friday the 13th. I just showed you the so those big scars. Okay, that 13 number. Also, the number of the sacral chakra. Okay, let's go back. Let's do a quick recap. Okay, 8 plus 5 is 13. The sacral hitting the heart. Okay, do your work tonight, this weekend. Do your work. Okay, do your work. Do your scripting. Do your questioning. Go back to these questions that I I'm not here wasting my time. Go back to these, screenshot it. Here's an opportunity. Let me take a sip. Screenshot it. Write down the answers to these questions. Get clear on your end game. This is going to be a rough year. You got to have a purpose. You got to have a direction, or you will be tossed in the wind like the rest of the savages, like the rest of the hyenas. I promise you. And I don't want to see that for anybody that's following me or listening to the sound of my voice. I love all y'all, and I want to see the best for all of y'all, sincerely. I'm not asking you for anything but to hit the like button and subscribe if you like my work. For now. All right? Let's go back to Mel. We'll finish what she's talking. Talk that talk, Mel. You'll see Mel on Sunday. Go subscribe to her channel. Her channel's Divine Film and Work. She's almost at 1,000 subscribers. So, if you're here, let's help her, hit that subscribe button. Support her on her work. Very, very, very good astrologist. You know what I'm saying? I think she's good to look at too. Why not?
I think Friday is going to be a really good day to engage in that, because you're going to be tapped into that energy. There's also going to be this feeling of being connected to people. Neptune really governs humanity, but more so the love for humanity and the empathy for humanity, right? And so you may find that you're more tapped into that, okay? And I love that the moon is still going to be in Libra on Friday when the sun sextiles Neptune. So there's going to be this feeling of like togetherness, this feeling of empathy, of sympathy, of people really connecting with people on a deeper level, okay? So it also fares well for relationships. I feel like any relationships started under this transit are going to have a more spiritual element to them, a more soul connection element to them rather than, something that's purely friendship or purely sexual or something like that. So it's a good time to relate to other people. It's a good time to hang out, do anything creative. Also, it's just a feel good kind of transit. Okay. So let's see, is there anything else other than what I said? Nope, that is pretty much it. All right, let me take a break and talk to some of you guys in the chat. I see some of you guys saying some things. Hello, JS. Thank you for
All right,
joining.
Mel. All right, Mel.
Feeling the push to take various.
We appreciate that. Thank you for the wisdom, Mel. What the hell? Oh, that's for later. This is our. We're gonna do a ritual tonight. Those of you who are here with me, we're gonna do a ritual. I'm gonna get a copyright for it, but it's okay. Shout out to Hala Vegeta. Thank you, Hala Vegeta. I see you. I see you hit the Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You can hit the Cash App if you want to donate to the channel. I appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. It keeps me going. Sometimes Hollow has kept me dropping videos on y'all. Y'all don't know, but sometimes I'll be like, yo, I want to quit this shit. I know this shit. What the fuck do I need to teach it for? But I have to, because when I don't teach, when I don't do these videos, my life doesn't go right. That's why when you're not living your purpose, your life the life falls apart. Things are not going right. You have a purpose. It might be to be the best carpenter in the world. You know what I'm saying? It might be to be the best flower arranger on the planet, right? You have a purpose. When you live in your purpose, or when you're going towards your dream or your vision, things start to sync. That's how you know. You start to see synchronicities. Things start to line up. When you don't, that's when your life is in disarray. So find your purpose, as the great poet Nipsey Hussle said. Find your purpose or you're wasted air. All right. So we got your boy, not my boy, your boy. Hold on. Why did it just disappear on me? Give me 1 second. We got your boy. Oh, y'all gonna do me like that for real? Y'all gonna do me like that? All right, hold up. Let's hack. We gonna hack this real quick. All right, here we go. So we got your boy Elon Musk. All right, you've seen this on the cover, dropping a Tesla bot. All right, robotic humanoid. All right, humanoid robot, dropping the Tesla bot. All right, AI, artificial intelligence. Everyone's scared. There's nothing to be scared of. All right. He predicted this on April 7th, 2002. He displayed it. All right. Tesla Giga Texas manufacturing faculty. All right. So AI is coming. All right. He already told you a long time ago. He first had an artificial intelligence day on 2021. All right. Robots called Optimus, Transformer. All right. Well, I told you that 13 was the depth card. He said back when that no robot will be able to do all human tasks by the end of 2023. But Elon said that he was going to drop. I don't know where it is. It was. I thought I saw that here. Maybe I saw this, but I thought he was saying that he was going to drop this robot by 2023. But maybe I misread it. But I don't know, if you go on a simple search here on YouTube, will show you the many revolutions they're making in AI. But just for starters, they're having an AI lawyer is defending his first client. Okay, there's an AI lawyer that's going to be defending their first client. There is a hired AI interns. Okay, are being hired. So they're doing a test run hiring AI interns, artificial intelligent robots. San Francisco, they are employing RoboCops, right? Robot police officers to go out in the line of duty and shoot niggas, right? Shoot gang members, all right? Street life is over. Once you got the robots with no heart, no discretion, puff, RoboCops, gang life is about to be done. That's going to be done in the next 5 to 10 years, right? You're not going to be able to, between the gang enhancements and the robot police, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So they're rolling that out in San Francisco, in Hollow's area, right? I don't know if you heard about that, Hollow, but they're rolling out the RoboCops out in Frisco, all right? McDonald's becoming fully automated, All right. They got the McDonald's where they got the drive through. They got the machines that make the burgers, that put the ketchup on the bun, that put the lettuce, the cheese, the bacon, whatever you want. They got the robots that are able to do it. Fully automated McDonald's. All they got is one person in there to make sure everything is running correct. Maybe two. That's it. The robots are doing everything else. Not anything to be scared of, but you have to be aware. And the best thing to do is invest in some fucking robots. Why be scared, right? Again, you're here to do what? This doesn't change because there's AI. There's no reason to be scared. This still holds true. You are here to be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Okay? Even the AI is part of the earth element. Even if I don't care how many clones they make of the AI, it's still under your jurisdiction. The cobalt and the coltan still come from the Congo. It's still based on your ancestors. All right. It still has the ability for you to control it. All these things, ever since technology, ever since the rise of technology, I don't know if you noticed, but since the rise of technology, there's been more and more freedoms for not only melanated people, but underserved people all over the world. My daughter in her school, she said there's little kids based on playing games on YouTube, on Twitch, kids her age, 13, 14, and 15, that are bringing hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars into school. Right? They got YouTube channels. They got Twitch streaming channels. They don't have the vision and the same type of poverty at a young age that we had. That's a beautiful thing. You can't stop technology, you know? Let's again going back to something I talked about earlier. Remember I talked about the steam engine. I remember John Henry, the story of John Henry, and he's bang, 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 banging on creating the fucking railroad tracks, right? And he's banging and he's banging and he's banging, right? And he's trying to defeat the motherfucking railroad. I mean, he's trying to defeat the actual the steam engine railroad or that was making the actual tracks. He couldn't do it. He lost, right? Man versus machine. Machine is gonna win. So you just gotta learn how to manufacture it. You just gotta learn how to work with it. You gotta learn your role in it. You might have to learn a code. You might have to learn to adjust. They're always gonna need a human element, right? To all of this, right? There's always gonna be a human element. So you just have to pivot and adjust. Don't let anything defeat you. Don't let anything put you in fear, though. Fear is the only devil. Fear is some root chakra shit. AI is inevitable. Inevitable. It's coming. Again, you niggas are already artificial intelligence. Not you niggas, but you niggas. You know what I'm saying? You niggas is already artificial intelligence. Your Instagram's fake. Your Facebook's fake. Your life's fake. You know, you got fake statuses. You got fake pictures filtered, right? Contoured, photoshopped, right? Most of the shit is fake online. It's not real. How many, you know how many cowards have told me some crazy things online in the comments, in my messages, off comments that I've said, kind comments at that people have flipped out and said the craziest things that I know they would never say to me in my face once they see me in real life. They would never even think of saying, they would never even, the air to breathe the word through their esophagus to even utter it would not even come out of their mouth if they saw me in real life. But behind a black mirror, they say whatever they want to say. So there's a different level of cowardice, which is why there's a different level of even men, because they're acting like women, because they feel like, just like women, they could say what they want to say, and there's no accountability, right? Because you can't just haul off and smack a woman. But if a man says something to me in my face, I can haul off and smack the shit out of a man. There's no consequence if I bust a man's ass, but I bust a woman's ass, right? I'm a sucker. I'm a coward. And I should be, right? But men are acting more like women. And it's the men, to me, from my experiences, that have said the worst things to me that I know they would never say in my face. You know what I'm saying? So niggas is already artificial. There's already artificial intelligence out here. Now we have to get heart official intelligence. We have to get our love, unconditional love energy. And unconditional, again, doesn't mean you're a sucker, doesn't mean you're turning the other cheek, right? It means that you're treating thy neighbor as thyself. It means that you are being the light that you want to see in the world. It means that you are being the example of truth. You're being the example of justice. You're being the example of honor. You're being the example of will, right? So not only can you do that for yourself, but you can show others what it looks like, and you could help teach your children, or just being around your friends, show them what it looks like, right? What it looks like to be a man, or what it looks like to be a woman, or a god or a goddess at that part, right? To shed yourself from the human. Let's continue. I'm almost done. I promise. I promise you. I promise you. So Thom Bell, all right, died. He died on the same day as Big Scar. What do you know? December 12th, 2022. We already broke down that is 13. Thom Bell, right, died. He's from Kingston, Jamaica. Big up, brethren. Gotta lick off a shot. Yeah, I'm non-FBA, but I was born here, right in Bronx, Lebanon Hospital. I haven't lived here all my life in the Bronx, but I was born in the Bronx. But my parents are from Jamaica. My father's from Kingston. All right. So I'm not an FBA, but I had the nigger experience 1,000,000%. All right. Nigger with the hard ER. But it's interesting that he died in Bellingham, Washington. His name is Thom Bell. So when I heard Thom Bell, I said, Spirit was like, look up Thom Bell. So I looked up. Hold up, did I share that? No, I didn't share that. Thom Bell. All right. So he was this died. All right. He was an American singer, songwriter, record producer, arranger, pianist, and composer, known as one of the Philadelphia Souls, creators of Philadelphia Soul in the 1970s. All right. Super legend. He's an ancestor now. Rest in power. Let's salute him with the shots. All right. Rest in peace to the ancestor. He was born in Kingston. I gave you my Jamaican soliloquy a little while ago. He died at the same time Big Scar died. Okay, so Big Scar, again, healing, just showing you signs and symbols. December 22, 2022, Bellingham, Washington. All right, so it's interesting. His name is Thom Bell. He died in Bellingham. We may not know, but Ham, right, one of the descendants of Ham, Judah, the 12 tribes of Judah, right, is one of the sons of Ham, or the sons of Cam, or the sons of Kem, right? And so we have that. Boom. We are, let's continue. And we have, so Thom Bell, Spirit was like, look up Thom Bell. And I was like, what? Spirit was like, look up Thom Bell. I was like, huh? Spirit was like, look up Thom Bell. So I looked up Thom Bell, did my Googles. I'm like, oh, Thom Bell, blue bellflower. What do you know? Okay. And I said, what does a blue bellflower do, right? So this is what it looks like, a Thom Bell blue bellflower. And remember, Thom Bell was a musical genius, right? He was a musical genius of the Philadelphia soul sound. We're going to go through some of his music, do a little mini ritual before we get out of here. Look, but it's called also a hair bell, okay? The bellflower family, it's the same thing, Campanula, right? I'm actually looking for this herb. So if you know somebody who sells this particular herb called Campanula or harebell, let me know. I looked online, but I ain't really. My spirit was like, nah, don't go with them. So I'm actually looking for an indigenous person to have that on hand. So if you know, let me know because I'm definitely want to get this herb. It's used for the root has been chewed in the treatment of heart, okay, and lung problems. So I'm still healing as well, right? It never stops. It never ends, right? There's no time where you say you got it. I hit Kether. I hit I.N.I. I hit the level of Orser. I get it. The game's over. The game's only over when you leave this physical vehicle. That's the only time the game is over. Other than that, the game is still going. All right? So you got to stay in the game. The root has been chewed in the treatment of heart and lung problems. You can't rest on your laurels ever. That's when you fuck up, when you think you know it all. An infusion of the roots have been used as eardrops for a sore ear, a decoration, The concoction of the plant has been drunk or used as a wash in the treatment of sore eyes. Okay. So a lot of uses for this particular herb, this dumbbell or this hairbell, right? Which sounds just like this brother. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep tapping into this dumbbell energy. All right. So characteristics and attributes. It attracts wildlife. And remember, Thom Bell is the creator of the Philadelphia Soul Sound. Could it be I'm falling in love with you? Right? And what does he do? It attracts hummingbirds. Look at that. Thom Bell, Campanula, Rotten. I'm not making this up. Dumbbell. It attracts hummingbirds. He died with the number 13, death and transformation. Okay. It attracts hummingbirds. So if you as a house, don't you want to plant some of these seeds and have hummingbirds, especially if you're an artist? Wouldn't that make your music more creative as you're going through this journey? This is something you want to look at as this year progresses, right? If you're eating this, don't you want to heal your heart and heal your lungs so that you could take in more spirit? Spirit means breath. So you could take in more prana, more chi, and more energy so you can manifest the things that you want, right? So these is how things correspond. There's no such thing as there's no such thing as coincidences, right? Only confirmations. Synchronicities are how you see God here on earth. Let's look at the mega million numbers. Oh, these were yesterday's numbers. All right, hold up. Oh, they're talking about yesterday. The numbers before that, hold up. Let me pull this up. Let me see if they pull the other numbers, previous drawings. So this was on the 10th, right? This was the mega million numbers. So if you played the mega millions, it's like at a billy. So if you got these numbers, congratulations. You know, it'd be nice if you got them when you're on the live stream, so you could throw me a nice cash app or donation. But these are the numbers that played 7, 13, 14, 15, 18, and 9. All right. So I thought the 7 and the 13 even is playing out in the lottery. Okay. So these numbers are important for this year. All right. Let's keep, and even 14 as the mega ball is still a derivative of 7 multiplied by 2, right? So, yeah, let's continue. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the ethical triangle, the Merkaba, okay? And the supernal triangle or the supernatural is when you get your superpowers and super abilities. But you got to go through the ethical triangle first. All these do what thou wilt people and think you could do people dirty and do what you want to do to them and fuck that. Nothing's going to happen. Karma's not real. I'm going to bind that nigga. Fuck that. I'm going to curse that bitch. Fuck that. I'm going to do what I want. All right. Spirit's going to have something for you this year. I promise you. Spirit's going to have something for you this year. And that's it. In closing, well, we're not closing yet. We're going to do a little ritual. All right. I'm probably going to have to cut this. I might just take the hit. Fuck it. Of the copyright strike and not be able to monetize this. But I want to play some of this music. And as I play this music, what you're going to do is you're going to what you call it, as I play this music, what you're going to do is you're going to beat on your chest like this. You're going to beat on this heart chakra and we're going to heal. I'm going to play at least two to three joints. I think 2 though, because I've been on here for over 3 hours. So we're going to play this and you're going to beat on your chest if you can. Replay it, beat on your chest, rock out. All right. And I'm going to DJ you through it as much as I can. So we're going to do 2 songs. So we're going to, everybody that's wronged you, everybody that's done you dirty, everybody that you feel could have done you, you're going to, as you do this and listen to this vibration and this frequency from Thom Bell, right? This is a Thom Bell playlist. I encourage you to actually screenshot this, pull up this playlist and listen to it tomorrow to get these 70s vibes, this love music, right? in your system. And his music is banging anyway, so there's no way you're not gonna like it, right? But you're gonna hit your heart chakra, right? And you're gonna forgive them. As much as you probably don't want to forgive them, you're not forgiving them for them. Forgive for yourself so that you could have the scales of ma'at. Your heart could be as light as a feather. You don't want to go into 2023 with grudges. Forgive them. Doesn't mean you're going to bring them around. Doesn't mean you're going to start hanging out. Doesn't mean you're going to start talking again. Doesn't mean you're going to see them. But forgive them. They were a lesson. You learned. It was trauma. You're able to use that trauma to help more people, help your children, help other people, right? You want to heal. Go into 2023 as we're still in January. It's not even on the 30th day or the 15th day yet, not even the middle of January yet. You want to go into this new year healing so you could be able to receive your downloads and not be weighed down by trauma. All right, let's go.
By mistake, I heard some news about you. I just turned my head and closed my ears. It hurt so bad. First tried to run. I paused a moment just to catch my breath, and then I saw.
We're gonna forgive. Let's forgive. I forgive you, everyone. Everybody who did you wrong, let's forgive them. It cost you nothing. Forgive them. And forgive them as you tap your chest.
Remember when I told you not long ago, if you wanted somebody new, to let me know. One day you'll know just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It seems like only yesterday we chased our rainbow. Now our pot of gold has turned to worthless, useless, and it seems it was just a dream, and I just woke up.
Forgive them all, y'all. Forgive them all. Think about them. Think about the hurt, mama, papa, auntie, cousin, person who violated you when you were a kid, when you were an adult. Forgive them. Let them go. They're going to get there.
Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
And it's not for you to pay him back. 2023, they're going to get there.
Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Exhale, let it out, let it out, let it out, let out that stress. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it. All right, we're gonna do one more. Shout out to my boy Philip Boom. We're gonna do one more. And then this one is banger too. Banger too. Woo, that's a banger. Hold up. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that to y'all though. This is banger too. Oh my god. Come on. Good girl. All these joints is fire though. All these joints is fire. Ooh, look at that. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'll be stuck. All these Tom Bell had was responsible for, by the way. All these songs. All these hits is his. Sound of Philadelphia. Tom Bell, that same blue plant that heals the heart, the lung, and brings the hummingbirds around. I might just have to type it in, y'all. Hold up. Let me just type in it because they're playing games with my emotions here on YouTube. We are going to visualize ourselves. No, Holland, we don't do that. We don't do that on this channel. We don't do that. This is the elevation channel. So, this particular track is one you're gonna inhale, exhale, do your thing, and think of all the new people you're gonna bring around that vibe with you, that connect with you, that bring you new energy, that bring you new joy. We're gonna start.
Buses on strike wanna raise and fare so they can help pollute the air. But
Bring it back, selector. Anything heartbeat. This one now, you let them go. Now you're gonna bring new people in. What do they look like? What do they feel like? What's the new booth feel like? What's the new relationship feel like? What's the new friends feel like? What's the new area playing at?
on strike wanna raise and fare so they can help pollute the air.
Feel it. Breathe it in. Breathe in that good ass smile, baby.
What makes the world go round? The ups
Tap that heart.
Changing people's hands around. Go underground, young man. and smoking in their easy chair on a fat cigar without a care. But that's what makes the world go around, the ups and downs of carousel, changing people's heads around. Go underground, young man. People make the world go round. But that's what makes the world go round, the ups and downs of carousel, changing people's heads around.
Come on, y'all. What's that new soul family look like? What's that new tribe look like? What it feel like? Not what it look like, what it feel like. What it feel like, what it feel like.
Make the world go round. People make the world go round. People make the world go round. People make the world go
Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I know they're gonna hit me with the copyright. So if you can, please hit that cash app. I do appreciate it. $5, $10, $20, $1, anything helps. It's right there at the bottom. Hit that cash app. I'm not begging, I'm just asking. You know, if I can't monetize the video, or maybe I have to delete the music out. I don't know. We'll see what they say tomorrow. Hopefully, YouTube will let me live. But definitely rock out. Rock out. I hope you got some healing tonight. I hope you felt your new soul tribe. What they feel like, offline and online. Real life and off life. I hope you felt your new boo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hug back at you, I.N.I. I appreciate you. All right? I appreciate all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? That rocked out with me, that stayed while I went to the bathroom. All that. You know what I'm saying? You hear the sound of my voice, keep tapping that heart chakra. Don't stop until I stop. Keep tapping that heart. Keep feeling the energy of what that do thing. Let go, you release, now you're bringing in. We went through an inhale, exhale process. All right? We did a little mini ritual tonight. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, with the information, soul music, tomorrow you wake up, tap into this again, tap into this playlist. Heal them chakras, get your vibration right. All right? Shout out to Dreamwise. You was talking about that music too. Yes, I felt that. You was talking about that Earth, Wind, and Fire. I saw that music. Yeah. I can see him download me a CD. So we in tune. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right. I used to be a DJ in the past life too. DJ Storm. I appreciate you, family. Yeah, let go of that grudge, I.N.I. It ain't worth it. I promise you. It's the year. Light as a feather. They'll be all right. You ain't got to mess with them. You ain't got to talk to them. You ain't got to be around them. But we're going to let the grudges go. And we're going to make space for the new soul family, because we can't make space for the new soul family if we still holding on to the grudges. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the donations. Most importantly, I appreciate the time and the like buttons and you listening to the sound of my voices. My voices, right? Because it's me and my ancestors. Rest in power to my sister Rosie. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the wisdom and the guidance as well. One love, y'all. Have a great night. Do some meditation tonight if you can. Don't just go watch new YouTube. Well, I ain't telling you what to do, but I highly recommend you put on some music, decompress for a little while, right? Then get some meditation, some visuals in. It's almost 3:00 here in New York City. So I'm definitely going the next 15 minutes, going to be in the astral realm. Maybe I'll meet you there. All right. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Blackstorm, one love.